Williams.
And I'm Madison Bell.
And this is our online class, all focused on oral intimacies, how to deepen your intimacy and pleasure with oral sex.
We hope you enjoy this class.
So with that, what we're going to do is we're going to start with really easy, bringing everybody into the room. And this is just a little what we call inside out. And so just really, really quickly, I'm going to start with a prompt, and you just answer the prompt. Okay? That's it. It's very, very easy. So it goes something like this. My name is Addison.
Lisa.
Miley. Tommy.
Lindsay.
Tyler. Chris. Jeff.
Christine.
Eva.
Mary.
Mike.
Sylvie.
Gordon. Steve. Luis.
The thing I like about blowjobs most is
The look in my man's eyes.
She's like,
No
pressure.
No pressure.
He's like, damn, baby. They're not my favorite.
that's very
That's
good.
it.
Yeah.
That's honest. Yes.
Good feeling. It's not really about the feeling, it's more about, I want her to enjoy it as well. So it's something that I want to reciprocate. So,
Connection.
yeah.
We double dip.
Shut up.
That was his word.
Double dip.
When he comes.
I like it all. I like his cock and I like how it makes him feel
Yes,
nice.
Just say yes.
Yes.
Like it. When he enjoys it.
The relaxation.
Where did I go next? Did I go back to you? Or were you last? All right, I'll let you do last.
I have no idea.
The feel.
Attention.
The feeling, the look in her eyes, watching her pleasure me, knowing that she's getting something from it.
I like everything about blowjob. Blowjobs turn me on when I'm giving a blowjob that I want to give, and it just it arouses me. It gets my juices flowing, like literally.
They're orgasmic.
They
A
are
good
orgasmic,
blowjob
yes.
is orgasmic.
Yes. The thing I dislike about blowjobs the most.
When he is not taking care of himself, then I'm like, no, that's not happening.
You got this one.
She's like, really?
I'm gonna go with teeth.
That would be a
Solid.
good one. Very nice.
Everybody else's answer.
Okay.
Chris,
Okay,
dang it,
one
it's his fault now.
Yeah, the teeth.
I told you. You just said it.
Yes, I can see that being a problem.
You be honest.
You can be honest.
I know.
Sweet. First answer, best answer.
Like when your mouth gets really tired and you've been going at it for a while and you're just, like I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know when your mouth gets really, really tired. Yeah.
Teeth, Never seen a downside to it. So.
Right.
Do you like the teeth?
Right?
Well, I mean, I've already stolen a word today.
See you later.
Corn on the cob.
Yeah. No, I do not like
Right
the teeth.
Teeth.
Gagging.
That's a good one.
We'll go over gagging.
Really?
Negative. Really good. I don't.
Okay, that's fine. There's
I
nothing.
mean, my job is hard, but I'm still good.
So when you're not in the mood.
Longevity.
Hard job.
I'm not gonna be original. Keith.
It is.
When they don't happen.
When they don't happen, yes.
There you
Yes.
go.
Teeth and not enough.
Not enough. Okay.
Lots of
Okay. I got one more. The thing I'm feeling inside my body right now is. Wait, let me reword that. The sensation I'm feeling inside my body right now
is a warming sensation in my pussy even talking about it.
Anxiety.
Oh,
Okay.
Sure you don't get inside.
Okay. Really tense.
Nervous but
Yeah.
Actually, very relaxed.
Tingly. Curiosity.
Calm.
The question is, the thing I'm feeling inside my body, the sensation I'm feeling inside my body right now is.
I'm more excited. I'm a little more open-minded and excited right now. I don't want to be seen.
Sensation inside your body right
Nervous.
It's a lot.
We'll get
You
into
missed the
that.
first two questions.
Walking the door.
He's the demo since he came in last.
That's what we were thinking.
Then I'm
Yeah.
up too high. Big flat.
Yeah, we can move people around.
You guys wanna come sit up here?
Yeah, go
Some
sit
sort of
down.
coach.
It'll feel better on your back. Yeah. There you go.
now. You guys have your numbers? Or do I need to?
We've got.
Alright. Okay. What are you feeling inside your body?
Maybe a little nervous too.
You're nervous? Are you nervous?
Completely excited.
You're just looking forward to the closeout after.
Shot.
Do it
Shot.
shot. Okay. So I could have been really mean. There's this place in Plano. They do the Burlesque Nutcracker every year. If you ever want to go see the Burlesque Nutcracker, if you show up late to the Burlesque Nutcracker, they make everybody stand up, applaud you, and go, welcome, 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 like that. Yeah.
That's what when we were walking across the street, he's like, I bet there's going to be a joke in there. There's going to be a joke involved.
All right,
I figured y'all would lock the
never
door.
leave.
I was 5 minutes early, wasn't I?
Today.
To pick you up, and we were half an hour early. Yeah, it's the first time in 6 years.
It happens.
Doing work done. Okay. So, welcome to Oral Intimacy. Thank you for facing your fears, your nervousness, and all that good stuff. This is going to be a really, really fun class, very lighthearted. That was like the biggest moment of the front end. So we have this all structured where it is seminar focused on the front side. We're all adults here, so if you do have a question, if we say something that you don't understand, just ask or pop your hand up, just let us know. So it is a very organic flow. I for sure am an organic flow person of just making sure that everything gets answered. Working with the room that I have before me, not necessarily the structure of that, which is why we have PDFs going out to everybody because we could miss something. we could miss something.
So
yeah, and then-
encourage questions.
Yes, encourage questions, encourage shares, all that good stuff. It's really, really helpful. One of the beautiful things about doing workshops like this is it takes the shame off of our sex and off of such things such as blowjobs and gagging and all these different questions that we have, and we get our education from porn these days more than because there's not a whole bunch of people out there teaching classes like this, and unless you are in certain areas like LA where there's a whole bunch of sex educators and everything, so there's a lot of classes going on there. If you're over in Europe, there's a lot more classes going on there. Europe's very
But this is not something we learn in high school or
It's
learn,
right.
it's not a class we
It's
take.
your high
so-
school sex ed class where we're gonna try
But we all
to
have
scare you guys to death about putting a cock in your mouth or putting your cock in somebody's mouth. This is going to be really very much focused on, like it says, discovering deeper passion and play. And as both of us in our share probably that you picked up, that we both enjoy blowjobs, so that would mean that we are also looking at how to help the giver actually enjoy it. Because it's no fun to give a blowjob if you're really not enjoying it.
And we're gonna say over and over again, if you're not enjoying the blowjob, you shouldn't be doing it.
Right.
You really shouldn't be doing it. And so it is finding that play and that deep enjoyment for what you're doing.
Yeah, and every single blowjob is going to be different. And it's much like, especially dealing with us women, everything's going to be different. So some days it's going to be like, yes, I really want to do that, and other days it's going to be like, And we're going to give you gentlemen everything that you need to know to increase your odds of getting more blowjobs, really fun blowjobs, and her turned on and connective in that process, so that it is a win-win.
Seriously, he gets them all the time.
No, he does. We know. I mean, come on. This is like she's teaching it. I don't know why I brought them.
I was the virgin teaching my sorority sisters how to give them.
Oh God.
I hadn't had that, but I've done that. So thank you, Jeff.
So, and then as we go through this, after we get through the actual seminar portion of this and some Q&A and everything, we're going to take a little break, and we're actually going to get into more normal-sized cucumbers.
Yes, they are big cucumbers. But sometimes
I
you're
can
just like,
When I get home,
I don't know
I'm
how
gonna
that's
take a
gonna work,
picture.
so
I'm
maybe-
going to take a picture of the cucumber and
If
it's
you can
going.
handle that, then you're good.
then you can handle anything.
Right.
Embarrassing anymore.
The average is way smaller than that.
Yes,
Look at that.
yes. Yeah, average is about 6
So it's
inches.
fine.
And we're gonna go through size and talking
We're gonna
about
be
how to handle different cocks because no two guys are the same, and a woman is different each time she gets a blowjob as well. And so it really is learning how to kind of work with like thought in the moment.
So the numbers that you guys are holding in your hands, just real quick so that you know what that is. The numbers that you're holding in your hands is for multiple drawings, okay? So hopefully we have a lot of things to give away. Everybody's gonna walk away with something, but we got a couple very fun toys over here, so everybody should walk away with some little prizes and everything. So as we go through like the seminar portion, we might just all of a sudden randomly choose to draw a number, and if you got that number, you get something. There is going to be some skill setting towards the end of it when we're playing with the cucumbers for like best deep throat, best hand moves. What did I say? Best. I checked something.
She's gonna win everything.
Stop it. Stop it.
Asian effort.
Just wanted to make sure everybody got something. So we got like 3. I have it written down 3 of the best. And here's the thing: you gentlemen get to actually kind of help us ladies who are choosing who wins, because gentlemen, you guys get to hold up to your clocks.
Well, cucumbers.
I should have checked it.
Anybody who came to the Cunnilingus class that we did a couple months ago, the talk with
We
the
did
light, we
mangoes,
did
yeah.
mangoes.
Yep.
So we're doing the flip side of this.
Oh.
So you guys get to feel
They
the
thought they had to leave.
sensation of having a woman watch, of
We
walking
decided
your
to
woman
change it
through.
up. The reason why we asked gentlemen to leave last year was because we did the live demo.
Oh.
So we
You
get
guys
men
don't
out. So
Deal well with a live cock.
Oh damn! So now I get it. Sorry.
Yeah, no, there
so
was
yeah,
a
so
lot.
this will be,
Model
and
number 2 was
also
not.
we had almost a massive amount of couples sign up, so we kept it a little bit more playful. So lucky single guys, you get probably us one.
Yes.
So yeah, so. All right, so with that, I'll let you go. That's all.
Okay. So we can- All right. Well, we'll just go on in. Cock anatomy. It's purple and that is a purple cock.
Oh, where's my cock?
You'll hear lots of comments.
So, when dealing with a guy's cock, you need to be aware that the head is going to be your most sensitive, well, not your most sensitive area, but an area that has some of the most nerve endings. Right down here, there's a little, right down here, there's a little sweet spot. That's the sweet spot that you guys like to hit when giving yourself, or masturbating, or when you as a woman are giving your man a hand job. It's a sweet spot right by the circumcision line that you're going to hit. And that has actually the most nerve endings. That's actually comparable to the clitoris on a woman.
But not quite to the extent, because as ladies have about 9,000 nerve endings at one quadrant on our clitorises. Sorry, gentlemen, we don't have that.
So,
We're lucky.
you're really, when you are giving a blowjob, you're going to want to focus in on this area and then lots of play on the head, because otherwise there's going to be this decreased sensation. And so you're really going to want to pay attention to this area and then this little area right back here. So the shaft of the cock is great, but it doesn't, you're not going to get a whole lot of sensation. Yes, it's nice, but it's not going to create the same sensation that you're going to get at the top here. So it really isn't at, how far you can put it back, how hard you can suck on this part of the cock.
So the shaft of the cock is for us ladies to kind of understand the sensation of that. That is more like our vaginal canal. So you know when a guy is just going straight in and out, and we're like, yeah, you know when you're done. Okay. So and because they're focused on this motion right here, but what we're going for is that there's the G spot, there's the clitoris, there's the cervix, there's all these other feel good spots in our body where the actual nerve endings around the vaginal canal, there's lots of nerves there, they're just not super sensitive nerves. Same thing with the shaft of the penis. Men have a little bit more sensation than what we have in the vaginal canal. It is a higher sensation, but in relationship, that's what's going on there.
And if you have a man who's uncircumcised, you're actually going to get a little bit more
So
sensation.
men who are uncircumcised, this is everybody in the room, a man who is uncircumcised actually has 50% more feeling in his cock than a man that is circumcised. So, there you go. Yeah, and there's no dirt that gets stuck in there. It actually causes extra lubrication for our bodies, and it actually supports different. So a man who is uncircumcised, there's a whole bunch of different things that it does as far as like for penetration for the woman as well. But most men in the United States are circumcised. Most men in the world are not circumcised. Sorry, stealing again.
No, you're fine.
Skipped it.
Yeah, and then you have your scrotum, your testicles. You're really going to want to bring these into the picture when giving a blowjob. Though some guys are not going to like this as much as others, so you're going to want to know your man. So, for example, I have one lover that literally cannot stand me touching because it freaks. It's very, very sensitive. So you're going to want to know your man. You're going to want to know the level of touch and sensation that he can handle, but also be very gentle with this area. Very gentle, because you don't want to hurt your body.
You can't go like this.
No. And teeth, definitely bad.
Nails.
Nails, bad.
Yeah, that's
A little nipple, but not really teeth. Yeah. So, you're going to want to be really gentle, but this is definitely a high sensation area to kind of bring more arousal to the blowjob. And we're going to as we walk through, we're going to show that really the blowjob isn't just about your mouth. The blowjob is going to be almost a dance with the cock. I'm an ex-dancer, and that's really what I look at when I am giving a blowjob. Really dancing and creating like this complete dance with this cock. And just enjoying it. So, being gentle, yet playful. So, you want to talk about semen? Oh, I know semen. You guys talk about semen. So like, this is my overview.
Okay. Yeah, I don't have all this memorized, so I'm going to have to read it. Alright. Does everybody know fuzziness.
Okay.
That's what
It has a ton
Tiny
of
stuff that
nutrients.
comes out that of a guy's cock that just makes some women go ugh and other women go ooh. And
Germs.
But it actually has it is like chock full of nutrients. It's actually one of the best things for a woman's body, both nutritionally, so if you're taking it into your stomach, then it is great for your digestive system. It is amazing for your skin if you want to look young.
yes, all guys just got excited about
It is, but it's the truth. Like it has so many nutrients in it. And I think I
Facials
actually
are positive. See, she said you do see them.
Leopard.
there's actually nutrition facts in your PDF about semen because it really has so many nutrients. Semen is only 1% sperm. The rest is 200 separate proteins, as well as vitamins, minerals, vitamin C, calcium, citric acid, magnesium, potassium, vitamin B12, zinc, and has less than 1 calorie
Have you had your energy shot today?
per
How much do you
ounce.
charge per ounce?
You want to charge it, well, you just take it. Really?
So it really is beneficial. Now, if this is a blowjob class, but it also has extreme benefits for our vaginal canals as women. But it also helps. Actually, they did a study and found that pregnant women who gave blowjobs were less likely to lose their baby because their bodies were, as long as the baby was of the same semen as the blowjob, because the body already had a knowledge of that. And so it actually decreased the amount of miscarriages.
The other study that they
They have to swallow.
Yes.
Okay.
Hopefully get funding the study.
I know, she said.
I was like,
What
they
studied
studied
that?
I don't know.
Study.
Yeah, they pay,
Another
they're paying for it, but how do you, I gotta learn how to send these proposals and that.
Another study that was actually done on swallowing. So you're talking about swallowing here. So if you're just taking in and discreetly or not discreetly, not swallowing, then this doesn't count. Okay, so this is actually taking it all the way in, ingesting it all the way. So the other study was done on depression, and what they showed was that women who swallow are less likely to become depressed. Their moods are more balanced, and there's this overall, so it's like the best antidepressant that you can naturally take, and it's pretty cheap, and you guys are normally
They're
happy.
usually pretty okay with giving it away. But also, you spend all this money on beauty products. The truth is that a lot of times what you're getting in your beauty products is actually just baby foreskins. And and some of the same nutrient, yes. We won't go into all that, but yes. The more expensive, the more likely
If
it is that you're buying baby
expensive skincare, then you have foreskin going on your face.
Growth factors.
Yep.
Yes. But it's got some of the same nutrients and things that semen does, and so so facials have been very much put in the pornographic kind of category, but truthfully, there's some ancient practices that teach that it is important to have facials because it does help with the skin. It helps clear the skin, it helps the
The
elasticity
trick with
of
a
the
facial
skin.
though is that you actually let it dry, so you do it like before you go to sleep at night. Everybody sleeps well. You wake up in the morning, some cool water on the face, and voila, you're good.
Or just go about your day.
Or you can.
So
The reason behind that is because of the nutrients in it. Like there's a whole bunch of talk about, I use vitamin C oil every single day. I do a whole bunch of natural things, which I don't wear makeup other than lipstick and eyeliner and mascara. I do like
Other than,
she do facials at home.
I look like a 15-year-old.
No, that's all good. But the vitamin C is really, really good for our skin. So it gives you that youthful glow. It helps with premature wrinkling. It does all this really good stuff, along with a whole bunch of other nutrients. And there's actually more vitamin C found in semen than in a lot of the serums that we can get over the counter. Yes, I have a lot
And
of-
collagen too.
And yes. So
We're not gonna talk through saliva. It's good for you.
well, the gist on the saliva is that when you're, so this kind of goes towards like gag reflexes and all that kind of stuff, which we're going to touch base on. But when you take the cock into your mouth and you know that little popping place that all you guys probably love when it hits in our mouths.
Because it starts to lose down for a second.
But then for us, the giver, right, we start to have a lot more fluid in our mouth. So we have a lot more saliva forming, it gets a lot slipperier, all this different stuff. Well, that saliva, as it actually blends with the semen, can have a whole bunch of health benefits to it as well. That increased saliva effect in the mouth does a world of wonders.
For the female body and also for the cock itself. So the
So, yeah.
saliva is actually very,
very beneficial. And what you have to remember is that it is an exchange of fluid. So our saliva as the giver is actually absorbing into the cock as well. And there is an actual exchange of nutrients happening right there. So at a cellular level, there's a whole bunch of stuff going on.
Yes. Yeah, saliva can be used as painkillers, lots of different things. So definitely check out your food app if you want to know more about saliva. Vulnerability.
Teeth. Moving on to teeth.
Yes. This is the most precious organ for most men. This is like a prized possession. So, it's very vulnerable for a man.
So there's no gnashing.
You probably won't see that man again. You might get some doctor bills.
That's a good way
Doctor bills.
to break up with somebody there.
Yes.
I would rather just be like, sorry, it's not working out. But really, think about it. I mean, as women, when we are getting oral sex, how vulnerable is it to be in that position? Because not only are you exposing your genitals, but you're also allowing yourself to really expose parts of your deeper sex. I mean, laying there and just receiving is very vulnerable. And so when a guy allows you to give him a blowjob or asks for a blowjob, it is very vulnerable, and it is a sensitive position for him to be in. A lot of women think that they are the vulnerable ones in that position, and yes, there is always a vulnerability when in the process of giving oral sex. However, it is just as vulnerable for a guy to be receiving as it is for the woman to be giving.
And if a blowjob is done well, then both parties are being vulnerable and surrendering into that moment. So as we're going to go through a whole bunch of different stuff, you're going to notice that we're going to talk a lot about consciousness, a lot about presence, a lot about really tuning into your body. This means like I'll probably use this term, you probably both say, like get out of your big head into your little head. And you might think that you're in your little head, but if you're overthinking it and going, well, like I love the way her mouth is looking like that, you're all up here, or if you're off in fantasy land, guess what? You're not actually present. So you're not really feeling your cock in that moment. You're focused on external things and fantasies and illusions that are there versus actually being present with your woman and really feeling that moment. That is very vulnerable for men to actually just go there and just receive,
Really
fully receive. And vulnerability is more about, there's again, porn puts out this picture of, the guy grabbing the woman by the back of the head and the forceful and all this different stuff going on, and it being more about the male controlling the female in a lot of instances. And we'll cover some of that because there's a whole bunch of different things that can happen so that men can understand kind of like from the giver's perception what's going on there.
When you really are enjoying a blowjob, like as a woman, you really have a whole lot of control over
Yes.
your man in that moment.
Yes. And part of the way that you can actually get to have, go to a deep throat, really enjoy the moment, get over some of the fears and phobias that you have about cocks and blowjobs and shame and all the different stuff that we build up around our sex and definitely around oral sex, is just to get into that vulnerable state and be really, really pleasant and get familiar with for your gentleman, get really into your little head and really start to feel. So that means breathing in and just relaxing into it and going, wow, that feels amazing. Because the more you feel into that, the better it's going to get. And yes,
Okay, so you said that the head, that one little sweet spot, has so many nerve endings, and that the shaft really, please hold the thought, and that the shaft is kind of like our vaginal wall and everything. So is the idea around a deep throat, because I can't do it, is it like you open up your throat and then you're hitting that secondary spot and it's
so
like
yeah, so that little popping spot, if you open up your jaw and just relax,
like unhinged like a
breathe
snake?
in.
Or,
As the cock goes down a little bit deeper, you take a breath of air so that you have that air there. Breathe. As the cock goes in, then you're not going to, you might have a little bit of gagging or something, but if you don't tighten up, and it ain't going.
Yeah, and you're gonna really gag. Then you're gonna like take the gag to the next level.
Right.
So rather
Right.
than just focusing on the head and rubbing the shaft a little bit, when you deep throat, you're actually hitting that with the
Right, so you're going back.
Okay.
So that's probably where the guy goes, oh, because it just got tighter and squeezed down around, and he's gonna go, whoa, that's amazing. And you can see a head shaking up there.
Yeah.
Yes.
But yeah, it is right around that.
Yeah, so it's right there, but that's quite literally, I mean, deep throating does not necessarily mean that you take in the whole shaft.
It's
As
just
it
get it
all right, so
Depending on the
That's
length.
not possible
Well, I
some-
mean, it is possible.
on
Some
some.
On
guys,
some.
but every man is different, so, and every
woman's
mouth
mouth
is
is-
different.
Yeah.
So is the idea just to pop it in and come out, or is it like to actually have that down deep for a
Yeah,
You
we'll go.
can-
Yeah,
yeah,
we'll go
that's-
through
as
it
we
all.
get
But
into
Oh, I'm
that,
sorry.
we'll
Okay.
get into that, but definitely,
yeah,
we're
no, but we're going deep. But yeah, you're gonna you want to hold it there for a second. You don't want to like make it pop right out.
yeah. So I mean, as we get into like the skills towards the back and cucumbers and all that stuff, we're gonna cover a lot of that. But yes, you can hold there. You need to resist the urge to swallow in that moment because you might the tightening of the body. You're gonna and reflexes like oh I should swallow, but if you swallow it's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt because your throat will come up. It'll hurt you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because everything will just come up. Because when you swallow, yeah. So it's all about for the giver. It's all about just relaxing and keeping your focus on breathing through your nose. That's the gist of deep breathing. Breathe through your nose, not through your mouth. Act like you're snorkeling. Like you're snorkeling and something. That's it.
And relax, and relax.
Yeah. So you just relax, relax.
And you're not gonna. I mean, that's not something you're gonna jump straight into. That is
No.
something that, and we'll walk through kind of the process of giving a blowjob, but that is not something you're gonna just immediately go to. You both need to kind of warm up to that place.
I am gonna while I'm thinking about it, because I'll probably forget my hair is stuck on this one.
Actually, technically, I'm gonna just keep my mouth shut. Not be the first time.
On the note of deep throating, anybody who wants to play with that on the front side, try with a soft cock first, because if you practice with your man being soft as he becomes engorged, it becomes more erect, and you play with that. So just do the back and forth deep throating with that. Your throat will adjust, and you'll be able to relax into it easier. So you'll get that feeling there, so that you're building up to it versus just dealing with this and then. All right, that didn't work. So yeah. Yeah, I said that. There you go. What we got? What's in
That's benefit.
Benefits.
We
Oh.
already went through that.
Oh, actually, we missed benefits.
Ah,
Points on there. I forgot about.
So So semen is natural antidepressant, reduces anxiety, it improves our sleep actually, it increases our energy, increases memory, prevents morning sickness when pregnant, slows the aging process,
7
and
kids, I never had mornings.
Oh, wow.
Seven?
No morning sickness. Well, I had morning sickness with one for like a week.
then you just went and give
I went without a blowjob for a week.
Yeah. Reduces pain, again, protects pregnancy, increases your sex drive, due to the testosterone in the semen, anti-inflammatory, it prevents cancers, and it increases the lifespan, actually. And there's the rationale for all of that. Yeah. So overall, oral sex is going to attract blood flow to your mouth, and so you're actually going to have to go to your dentist and be like I've been giving really good blowjobs because my teeth and my gums are nice and healthy. I mean, it actually nourishes all the blood flow in your mouth. The nutrients are actually really good for the gums and the strength of the teeth. And the muscles and tendons all up in your face. It keeps everything nice and firm. So,
It's a nice natural.
Exercise.
Yep. There's actually a woman that is doing face yoga, where she teaches a class on face yoga, but the majority of the things that she's teaching are just doing like easily.
Just some of the other ones that are probably most important are that it increases diaphragmatic breathing, because you are having to learn to really breathe deep. Because if you're not breathing deep in a blowjob, you're not going to be able to kind of keep going. And so really breathing deep into your stomach is going to be where it's at. And so the more you're increasing and giving blowjobs, the better your breathing is going to become. And then there is a neurological connection between your mouth and your pussy, ladies. And so when you are giving a blowjob, it is going to get you aroused if you are allowing it to. If you are really like sinking into it, you're going to get that connection.
And to take that to another level, our pelvic floor muscles, so ladies, Kegel exercises, we do that to keep our vaginal canals healthy and strong, and if we have children and we're really focused on Kegels and all this good stuff. Well, a couple years ago I did a whole training on pelvic floor health, and one of the main things that I learned from Shelly and that was that our jaws and everything up here are directly connected to our pelvic floor muscle. So everything is interconnected. So if you're all locked up in here, then you're probably hyperactive in your pelvic floor muscle. Hyperactive pelvic floor muscles can lead to numerous problems like the vaginal prolapse, lack of feeling, loose pelvic floor muscles lead to bladder control issues, bowel control issues, lack of orgasm on either side, all this different stuff. So on that side effect is that if you actually exercise this muscle here, you are also exercising your pelvic floor muscle. So it is a mirroring effect going on. And yeah. This is why guys love this class, is because they're like, yes, preach it, like, oh, that's good for them. Yes, yes, yes.
We'll get to you guys in a little while. Y'all are not off the hook.
Waiting for the other shoe.
It's coming. The other shoe is coming.
Got it. Not one-sided. Oh. So, as we learn,
I think we need to do another round.
we'll do that.
Yeah, I think we should do another round.
Please.
No, actually, no, we won't do another round. Never mind. You guys, I'll see you again.
Okay.
I was gonna make them help me.
Go for it.
Okay. This one is only for you gentlemen. Or no, we'll do both. We'll do both. Why do or don't you want to come? Or have your man come?
Like in your mouth.
Yeah.
Okay.
That, like, why?
In your mouth?
Yeah, in your mouth.
Focus on blowjobs.
Yeah, that's
Why
the
do
blowjobs.
why do you or do you not want your man to come in your mouth, gentlemen? Why do you want to or don't want to come in your woman's mouth?
Sticking with the same answer.
Right?
Okay.
Consistent.
Hey, you have consistency. That's
I do because the sensation is as good, if not better, than ejaculating vaginally.
The reason I wouldn't like it is because I feel like it's a form of disrespect.
Is there any reason why you do or don't want your man? Yes. You don't know? You said pass. Pass is fine.
The feeling.
The feeling. Okay.
I do, because the connection feels stronger than.
Still think it does get better. Definitely, I think it's more intimate, or can be more intimate.
Feel better connection.
So I feel like when I'm actually getting head, like it's a power play, and then to get him to ejaculate, it's like, oh yeah. It's like, and I love that. It's like that feeling of, dang, I did it. And he
Love
feels
the
good.
honesty.
Yeah.
Took my answer because I'm the one that's totally me in control, whereas I'm kind of in control down there, but sometimes I'm not. It's if I'm really connected, it just is my body. But with him, if I do that,
So you're like the power.
it's all me. I love that I did that.
Well, the reason it's weird to me is because porn stars do that, not people.
I also like the honesty.
Fine,
Yeah.
it's true.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I
Feeling?
keep doing, yeah.
Because she likes it over here more.
Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna. I'm more of a convert. I was raised that it was more of a porn thing, or a different area of sexuality that you moved into, and that it was a little darker. And so when I started to realize that it became more of an intimate moment, and that it was important for him, then that made me feel good. That like, okay, I'm actually connecting a little bit deeper, and I'm giving that. And it wasn't necessarily a power thing, but it was more like, oh, okay, I can do this. Like I'm doing something that is good. And so my mindset changed from like, doing something bad to doing something good. Being more of a convert, for it. And I do like it. I do like the warmth. So I don't mind if he comes in my mouth, but if he also comes, and then I learned about facials, but I didn't know at the time. But it's that warmth that was almost like a comfort thing.
Just like it feels really nice to give, it's nice to receive as well, to be catered to.
I like both ways. I like the control, the intimacy, but it just depends on the moment and what's going on and what's happening.
So how do you get a facial if they're coming in your mouth?
That's
Yeah.
where saliva
Yeah.
and the semen actually
Yeah,
blend together, and you
you're
just
like
in your hand and then
Okay.
work it around. So, and what happens there is that you're blending all the nutrients from the saliva with the nutrients from the semen, so you're getting a double whammy. Which, ladies, that's an ancient white tiger's secret right there. So
Yep.
that goes way back about 7,000 years.
So is it like when he's finished that you?
So yeah, so
okay.
he comes in your mouth, and once he's like everything.
There you go.
He hasn't fallen over, then
No, you we'll teach you how to do it.
No jar.
It came from his body.
Sterile.
My tactic on that is that I just say I'm that was
Facial.
awesome, but I'm giving myself a facial right like that.
And then then they're like, oh, and now you're spreading on your face. Then that can be its own level of
If you wanted more, you
arousal
could
for
set
them.
And then you get out of the car and you go into the restaurant.
I was just about to say I love the spontaneity of it. We can do it anywhere, right?
Yes.
Yes, we can.
That's why you shouldn't wear face makeup because
No,
then it messes
not
it
the
up.
facial. The other
You
one.
know, I went
Bronze.
to a very formal dinner in Mexico,
We did
fresh
not.
after a facial?
Yes.
I didn't even know that.
I would never do anything like that.
Fine.
Like 200 people.
Wow.
I didn't. It wasn't a nice dinner. But
You got something.
Right there.
You got married.
Right here.
Cabo will always remain removed.
so
That's funny.
I personally, sometimes I don't want my man to come to my house. Sometimes I don't desire that because, especially if he is not really taking care of his health, which we're gonna hit on, I do not want that in my mouth. It's not germs. It's like that's just. If a guy is not taking care of himself, then I don't want that.
Lots of asparagus.
So that's taking care of yourself in multiple ways.
So
But sometimes you know when you are taking care of yourself, it's like asparagus is not good.
That's what I
Yes.
said, asparagus.
and we'll get into food and stuff too.
So
Pineapples
why
and
does man want to
strawberries.
Thank you.
come? In general, most of it's all in his head.
All
Both in his heads, but in his head, the big head, for the most part. That is what's going on. It's really just a mind game saying that you need to come, gentlemen. So here's the thing: and we're not going around in a circle for this. Is you ejaculating an orgasm?
That's a central.
Trick
Good
question.
question.
there.
So you're like, I'm gonna go to flamingo class.
I right.
No,
I know.
I will answer for you. Orgasm is not. Ejaculation is not orgasm. They're two completely different things. If you were a little boy at one point and had a wet dream, most likely at some point you ejaculated without orgasm. Well, the opposite is also possible. Orgasm without ejaculation.
And here I'll bring you back to the majority of men have had an experience early on in their life when they experienced orgasms, when it's that first orgasm. And I know I've heard guys tell me, like, oh, I was laying on the couch watching TV and something, whatever it was, they had next to a vibrator or whatever, and it was like, ooh, and it sent this orgasmic energy through their body, but they did not come. They had the orgasm. A lot of men have experienced having sex and having an orgasm, but still being hard as a rock and not coming, and going like, well, what the hell's that? And that was amazing, can I do it again? So here's the thing, gentlemen, the reason why coming is all in your head is because ejaculation and orgasm are two separate things. It's climax and orgasm. Orgasm is an energetic reaction in the body. Ejaculation is a physical reaction in the body. They operate on two different tracks, and we consistently bring them together and say that's orgasm. So we simplify it and also cause a lot of trouble in it. So guys go, I didn't have an orgasm. I didn't have an orgasm because I didn't ejaculate. Well,
That's not true.
if you actually connect your two heads and put a little heart in it, you can have that orgasm consistently and not experience the ejaculation portion, which means now who's in control of your little head? You are, guys. You are. So come when you want. Don't be basically. Don't let your little guy be your boss. That's
Because honestly, you don't want to come every time you get a blowjob because then the party's over. Let's be honest. The party's over, and you think of all the nutrients that you're giving her. Well, they are being depleted from your body in order to give to her. So,
and if you actually learn how to recycle that energy, recycle the ejaculate, now we're going back into tantra here just a little bit. Or ancient Chinese practices as well. So jade dragon practices, white tiger's jade dragon, those are both ancient Chinese practices dating back about 5,000 years. Both of that and tantra both teach a practice of recycling. Recycling the ejaculate is where the man learns how to breathe and control his body and both in his little head, so that the ejaculate does not go all the way out the shaft, but actually dips back down, processes back through the prostate, goes out into the bloodstream, and all that nourishment that would have gone into her pussy or into her mouth and or in your hand or in toilet paper, wherever you're shooting it.
let's be honest.
Wherever you're shooting it.
In the shower.
Wherever it's going. Instead of it going there, it actually processes back into your body and your bloodstream absorbs it. So you do not lose that nutrients. And I don't know if it's in here or not, but anybody who's interested in my Not Your Average Joe class, I have the whole breakdown as to what that means for you gentlemen, nutritionally wise, in that class too. But I can tell you that cerebral spinal fluid makes up like 40 or 50% of semen, and men who ejaculate a lot are more likely to have like dementia and Alzheimer's, memory loss, fatigue, lots of different things from massive ejaculation. So there's a whole bunch. Not to mention the different nutrition stuff that you're listening to.
So think of even outside of blowjobs when you might be just like letting go of
So,
And that's really it. Pick and choose your moment to come, guys.
so you guys are literally killing us.
Yes.
Doing that to make you beautiful.
7 to 8 days worth of nutrients.
And it's literally
Ah. 7 to 8 days worth of nutrients gone, like that.
But if you're getting the daily blowjob and then you masturbate
Yeah, die
later in
happy.
the day,
Die happy, that's what it
opt
says.
out of the masturbation, get the blowjob.
Yes.
Well, yeah.
So outside of being in your head, the need to come, the next biggest factor for guys wanting to come is stress release. It's all about stress release, just that like, oh, that feels good. And then what happens? You're like, yeah, let's take a nap, let's relax, right? That's all those yummy sleep chemicals dropping down. Guys cannot help themselves. They actually really do fall asleep because the chemicals that are released in the brain into the body. We have an orgasm. We're like, let's go
keep going.
do something, right? We're all energetic and excited. A guy has an orgasm. He's snoring 3 minutes later. What the heck?
Not always.
Chemicals. Yes. Dominance and control. I remember I heard that over there.
Somewhere over here.
All men, yeah. All men do love the power they feel when they come. That ejaculation makes them feel powerful. It is a sign of being a man, of like success. It's just like, so that is it's a very big factor to self-esteem, confidence, and just being a man. And then connection and vulnerability, which is also a major answer. Connection and vulnerability. We went through the vulnerability part. It is. I mean, I always make the point of no matter what side, whoever's receiving the oral sex, you have to realize that it is that vulnerability, but the true vulnerability is that there is a big, we all want to be accepted, we all want to really have that connection with our partner, and when a man comes, that acceptance that the woman, that his partner is having for him, for his body, for the taste, for the smell, for the connection, for everything is, yes, it just goes straight to the guy's heart. That is like, you want to fuck your guy open at that heart level. That's why they want us to swallow. That's why they want us to go there, because that is full acceptance. We can disconnect from here. Here, they got our eyes, they got our mouth. It is very intimate. It is very personal. Sad thing that our teenagers actually think that oral sex isn't sex, and it really doesn't mean that much, huh? But that's across the board. But it is a very, very, very intimate aspect of our sex and our life. And when you actually take your man all the way in different ways like that, you are gifting him with full acceptance. So.
But there's also a way, if as a man, you can also shut that vulnerability off too.
If you're in fantasy land, if you're in, I'm going to control the situation, I'm trying to act out a porn, I'm going to turn her into this porn star, blah, 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 blah. Can I go deeper, harder, faster? Yeah, that's all up here. That's the mind games. That's not connection. That's not vulnerability. That's not you just being open to accepting yourself and accepting your partner and being in that moment.
And neither
That is-
person's going to enjoy it.
No.
So,
Do we need a bathroom break, water break, or anything else? Like 2 minutes?
yeah, take like 2 minutes.
Well, I'm gonna answer a really quick question. So during break, question came up about ejaculation and what is too much, and how do you tell if you've ejaculated too much so you don't, have early onset dementia, Alzheimer's, memory loss,
Thank you.
so all that stuff. So I'm not gonna get into the massive amount of that. That's another class. and there is a whole class on that.
Ejaculating
But the gist,
Who'd have thunk?
Orgasm.
Guys,
it
dang
was
it.
Do you have like a
originally
schedule
called
of all
No
your
More,
classes?
No More 3-Minute Man, but it's now Not Your Average Joe class, and No More 3-Minute Man materials in there, and then Not Your Average Joe stuff is in there. So it's like 2-3 classes combined together. It's a very intensive class. But to answer that particular question, so every time a man who is, now we're talking about healthy, there's no diseases going on, you're not on a massive amount of prescriptions, that kind of stuff. You're pretty physically well, you take care of yourself, you're not just Mr. Couch Potato that's sitting there and like, all this different stuff. You're actually active in life, you're doing different things, you eat well, everything like that. Okay, so, and if you are between the ages of like 30 to 45-ish, okay, or yeah, I'll get there. We can take it back to like 25 to 40-ish, that bracket right there. A guy who is healthy in that bracket, if he ejaculates once every 4 days, he's totally cool. Totally cool. Yeah.
Well,
If he's ejaculating like a lot of 20-somethings, probably 5-6 times a day. Yeah. So,
I
Get
lived in
your
a dorm.
plot
I
now.
lived in a dorm with a bunch of nurses.
No.
You had no choice. That's fair.
a healthy guy, 40 to 50, 55-ish, every 8 days.
Well, I'm sorry.
Every 8
That's
days.
okay. I'm bringing it in.
That's not fun enough.
Right. We're talking about ejaculating.
Fine.
We're talking about ejaculating. We're not talking about
Orgasm.
orgasm is that whoop, they're feeling great, but they're still keeping it up if they didn't ejaculate. Okay, so ejaculation is climax based. That's
And
a
that is
physical
actually
reaction.
when you're releasing chemicals.
Right.
The brain chemicals and all the feel good actually comes from the orgasm, not the ejaculation.
So on the 8th day, can you just go as many times as you want?
I believe she said once every
Well, because you know, the first time, not as much comes out each time either.
It's true.
It doesn't.
The first time's a lot more, especially within 8 days.
I
That'll
know
be a lot
we
more than.
Depending on health and what you're eating and what's going on, you can actually balance that out pretty good, and a guy can actually have a lot of semen released consistently.
I
Yeah.
don't want
We're
that.
going
It's
to
killing
the
me.
average
And the whole what,
Right,
what
but-
semen looks like, smells like, and tastes like also says a whole bunch about his health.
Okay.
So we're gonna get into that because guess what's really important to us ladies?
How it tastes.
What it tastes and smells like.
Oh, where do you
Yeah.
find out?
Dang it.
Taco Bell, okay.
No. Alright. Fast food. Yeah. Not okay.
So I should not have had that.
Beer, all that beer you guys are gonna drink because it's St. Patrick's Day? Yeah, not good either.
For one day, it's consistent.
Yes.
Obviously.
Yeah,
Moderation.
Moderation.
Everything in moderation.
Yes.
Everything in moderation.
Including
No.
Climax.
Lots
Well,
of sex.
No, the idea of this class is open your mouth.
Wait.
Right.
So can a girl work out only climax once a week too?
Oh no, it's
Oh,
okay.
so you're
girl,
only
we
one.
need
So you're
more.
only more. Okay.
We need
Yeah.
to constantly
Yeah,
be
this class is really going the wrong way.
Thank
now.
Like,
We
The
actually,
girls more and more, guys, they wait once in a week.
from a physiological level, we
Where the hell
actually
is
need
this
it
class
more.
going?
So actually,
Ejaculation,
Oh,
though.
if we
great.
use
Yeah, she's really happy. She's serious. She's like,
Yeah.
if we
You go to
use
female
climax as an
Oh my God.
overall picture, because climax for us women, I mean, we're
Yeah.
a little off topic here, but it's important, just so that we are fair to guys. So climax for a woman, I mean, that's really that. So the head, the
You know, you can like, you can softly do that by like just gently,
Yeah, be gentle with the ball.
gentle with it, like lovingly like caress it at the bottom. It doesn't do that hard pop and pull where it's like jelly.
Alright guys, what happens when this spot right here gets overworked?
desensitized.
Desensitized, numb, what's another feeling that you get?
Really sharp, it's like oversensitive. It's too much. Oversensitive.
Oversensitive, too much. Sharp, desensitized, can't feel. Where do you go when that happens? In
Your
here.
To your happy place.
to your happy place anywhere but connecting to that spot, correct? Ladies, when your clit gets really rubbed, and the guy's just like going after it because he's like, oh
Do
yeah,
this.
this is the hot spot. This is it. This is gonna make her come. This is gonna make her come. I want karate chop him. Okay. I don't do that. Thought about it.
Then you like you pull yourself in the bed like away.
Yes.
I've done that.
And then there's a
Right?
head
You
for it.
retract, you pull away, it becomes oversensitive, it becomes sharp, it becomes painful, it becomes that. So here's the beautiful thing about as ladies, climax for us really only happens when our clitorises get stimulated. Climax is a clitoral orgasm. It is not a vaginal orgasm. It's not a G-spot orgasm. It is not a cervical orgasm. It is not one of the other. I don't know how many.
And it
Well,
does
this
not
my
release
orgasms-
the same amount of chemicals.
And it does not produce the same chemical release that a G-spot, cervical, vaginal canal orgasm will produce for us, okay? So completely different. So to answer your question, how many should a woman have? Probably not as much as what, I mean, like a good, it's not going to cause any massive issues for us because we're not losing fluid. Now, if we got into female ejaculation, that would be a whole other topic, another class.
That's another process. It's another
August, people. Okay, that's live demo. We have our September. When did I know you're not the
I'm not
model for that.
evacuating.
She's not the model for that. I know. August is.
I'm just an orgasming here.
She's an orgasm, yeah, girl. I can't remember when we did
You guys did it
that.
this December.
July.
You did it right
It was
before.
July.
Yeah.
It was
That's-
July. Okay, I know it was summer. It's not going to happen in July. I'm gone in July. So it might have to happen in August or September.
And then in December.
But if a woman loses a lot of female ejaculation, that whole process, so if we get really, I mean, a woman can ejaculate over and over and over again. Trust me. Cobble will always remember me.
All the party.
Her workshop, female ejaculation. But that right there,
Good for facials for men too, I'm assuming.
actually it's really beneficial for men. There's a whole bunch of nutrients in there. So yes, more white tigress, jade dragon stuff right there. So yes. But yeah, so it's not something that a woman should consistently squirt. Yes,
So just squirting it.
that's female ejaculation. But no, so 4 to 8 days depending on age. As you get older, the time frame goes out a little bit more. Health plays a role. There is a whole view take on that the Chinese developed thousands of years ago, depending on seasons and all that kind of stuff. But the actual breakdown to where a man is at, physically speaking, with ejaculation, a lot of it plays a role with age and health and that stuff. But those are the just 4 to 8 days.
All right. Well, we're gonna actually move into a completely different topic. We're gonna
Party favors.
camera party. I have no control over this class, obviously.
We gotta jump. 7.
Oh.
Who's got 7?
That's the one I want.
Lucky number 7.
Who else has a 7? Anybody else?
No.
7?
I think the gentleman with the red and black.
It was the camera guy.
Luis?
Luis?
Oh, his wife's gonna love him.
But there was one that read it today.
That's a family.
I didn't hear it, but that's funny. I just like your laugh.
There's lots of fun stuff. Yeah.
Oh, weapons. Oh, yeah.
Notice you got it. So who gets which?
We gotta go.
We're not like this workshop anymore. Right now.
We'll live with the Germans. It's good.
Okay, so carry on.
Okay, so the next thing we're going to go into is more about why women don't want to swallow. And consistently when I'm talking to my clients, and if I actually think back to earlier on in my life, I would say that the thing that comes up the most is good girls don't. Good girls don't swallow.
That's what porn stars do.
Yeah, and
That's what sluts do.
I love penis. woman. But yeah, that is really the number one issue women really have to work on getting through. And we say like, oh no, I know that that's not true, and we can logically as adults kind of think that, but the truth is that is a program we really need to pay attention to that is coming up in us of this, this is wrong, this is dirty, per se, not dirty, but this is this is not something that culturally is acceptable and things like that. And so this is definitely something that you as a woman really need to look at where in your life this good girl kind of program is coming up, and a lot of times it comes up in this area because a lot of times women think that they are in the more submissive position in this when giving blowjobs, which we could debate that. But yeah, so the main reason is usually good girls don't. So that is what we hear a lot. So that's definitely a program that you need to do some journaling on or just work through or pay attention to in your sexing.
And the other big area is
Funky
we
spunk.
named it funky spunk. We get it.
You did. You did. You're the one who did the Taco Delight work, and you like fun names.
Alright, funky spunk, which comes back to taste and smell and all that stuff. Consistency. Ugh, yes, talk consistency. So as I already kind of leaned in on, do we have like the?
Yeah.
Okay. So a lot of that comes down to every man's semen is different, number one. But the thing that makes up, oh, we were totally on it on PM when we created that lesson.
He was
Yes,
really
you were.
on it.
But a lot of that comes down to diet and the things that you're putting into your body. So diet goes along with also medicine. It goes, how many prescription drugs are you on? What kind of drugs do you take? All that different kind of stuff does change the flavor, the scent, and the consistency of the semen. A man who has a vasectomy, his semen is different than a man who doesn't have a vasectomy. Completely different semen there. So it's completely different consistency.
What's the difference?
Typically, it's a little. Huh?
I'm sorry, go ahead. No.
What did you say?
I was like, the vasectomy doesn't have swimmers, so it's going to be.
Right. So it's
a little
not.
Which means it's
thick.
thicker or
Running.
thinner.
It's thinner. It's
Thinner,
not.
okay.
It's more.
I'm watering.
It's more
So
like pee.
some men's semen is almost like white in color, very milky and chunky. Okay. Other men's is slimy like the egg white, like a raw egg white. Other men's has some sort of coloring to it, like a faint yellow tone or something. And then there is the faint green tone, which runs out of the way.
Yeah. That's busy.
That's busy. Yellow shows a lot of pH imbalance. So what you're looking for is like a healthy man without a vasectomy is going to lean more towards white and clear. But the chunky, we're talking about that's got a lot of different stuff in there that you're not wanting in your body. That is comes back to like vaginitis, all this stuff, which we're going to really quickly touch on because it is a major. When we say yeast infection, we think woman, we think vaginitis, we think woman's got to go in and go do this kind of stuff, and then she's whatever. I mean, I know that there's all these different pills out there. Garlic works really great, ladies. Just go for garlic. Sleep with it. But on that note, here's the thing: the majority of yeast infections actually come from our male partners. It is one of the most under talked about STD out there, and it is a changeover from man to woman. And then the woman gets it, and then she heals her yeast infection, and then a week or two goes by, and then she has another yeast. I went through a phase early on in my 20s where I had a yeast infection for about 2 years straight. Well, my husband had dandruff, jock itch, and an athlete's foot. He drank a lot of beer. He liked his white flour, a lot of white flour. He was regularly visiting different burrito stands with a lot of white flour and but not even good burrito stands, like fast food burrito stuff.
Taco Bell.
Just crap. So all of this, and he also liked his soda intake on top of it. So there was all this different stuff that he was putting into his body, and he was itching, and look at my tracked feet. That whole thing, rubbing cream on, buying the expensive shampoos, rubbing, doing all this kind of stuff. And little did I know that I was the awesome benefactor of his yeast infection. So here I was, consistently fighting what I thought I was responsible for. And as soon as I blinked it, I found out about that. And we're done having sex until you fix that.
But you
So
can
it's like-
even transmit it through blowjobs. So it's
yes,
not just.
So there is this wonderful yeast infection of the mouth, which we might understand with our babies, thrush, right? So that's where the babies get all that white stuff in their mouth and everything down in their throat. Guess what? Us ladies can get. So guys, if you want your lady to actually want to put down on you, make sure that your stuff is healthy. So if you have any of those things that I was just talking about, that means that you do have a yeast infection. Yeast infections are very easy to cure. You do not have to have a whole bunch of different things to do that. It is really diet focused. It's all about your pH level. It's all about healthy gut, healthy flora, more positive flora than negative flora in your gut, and you don't have yeast infection. If you have a bunch of acne, different things like back acne, acne on your face, anything like that, that's a yeast infection. If you're recently taking antibiotics, chances are you have a yeast infection. If you have mood swings, guess what? You might have a yeast infection. If you have issues thinking and holding thoughts, over fatigue, sleep issues, probably a yeast infection. I don't know if there's a link in there, but there is a fantastic book called The Yeast Connection that was written back in the 80s by, I think it's Peck is the last name. Peck. Sorry. Big blank today.
Okay, we can both be blind.
But it's called The Yeast Connection. There is a diet book that goes along with that. In the front of that book, there's about 100 different questions that you can answer for yourself and determine if you have too much bad flora in your gut or not. So it is really, really a very valuable book, very powerful, will help you cure yeast infections. The other thing about having a yeast infection as a man is that not only does it change the consistency of the semen, it changes the flavor and it changes the scent. So this is going to be like, it's just going to be bitter and rancid and just not a good flavor at all. And multiple things, I mean, like medication too will change the scent, will change the flavor.
Coffee, alcohol, cigarettes, or if you smoke any weed, will make your semen bitter. If you're eating lots of greasy red meats and greasy foods, dairy products, asparagus, then you're going to have more of a sharper flavor to your woman. Like more of a moderate flavor is having some of those, but then also more of a vegetarian lifestyle, eating a lot more chicken, fish, things that are a little bit more lean, less alcohol. So a mild would be lots of fruits, vegetables. Pineapple juice is amazing. No, it is not a myth. That really does work.
Pineapple, citrus
Really
fruits
does work.
are big time. And guess what they also do? They balance your pH level. They help with proper intestinal flow. They have natural digestive enzymes in them so that your body will actually digest the foods properly. So if you did have a steak meal, you do want to actually eat the pineapple because otherwise that steak is going to sit in your gut for about 5 days before it fully processes. And guess what that means? It's not so pleasant in other areas either.
Yeah, and you actually don't want your man to be sweet. If your man is overly sweet, outside of like you're drinking pineapple or eating pineapple, then you can have a little bit of a sweet flavor. But if your man is like incredibly sweet, like like you take a bite of like chocolate that is cracked chocolate, and it's like, ooh, that's like too much. That's actually a problem on the other end, in that he might have diabetes or some issue on that end. So you want to stick in the middle.
Yeah, so it's light and almond flavor, which is a hint of sweetness, is like the ideal man's.
It is. It's like a wine. It's like a nice
savor
wine.
I'm just waiting for the little glasses to pop out.
Or there's almost
Turn
no
it
flavor.
around in your mouth 32 times. Wash it back. Actually, it is 32
But don't spit.
times. White
But they don't.
stuff.
Yeah.
Don't spit it out.
Tiger.
White tiger
Okay, now the fun part. Safety, boundaries, and conversation. Yes. So whenever you are jumping into any sexual situation, you're wanting to make sure that you have appropriate boundaries set, there is consent going on, and that you're having conversations. I know it's a big surprise. You're supposed to be having conversations with the person you're having sex with. It's crazy. But it's so important because every man's gonna like his blowjob a little bit different. Every woman's gonna have her different sensitivity. Some women might want you to grab really hard on the back of their hair. I am not one of those women.
Stop turning yourself on.
That's not. I'm not. That is like, that's the porn star hold. It's the porn star hold. Have a nice little like, that's different. But no, truthfully, like every woman's gonna have a different turn on. Some women are gonna go, I don't like that position. I don't want to give a blowjob in that position. That hurts, or it doesn't work for me. Some men, like I said, I have a lover who I can barely touch his testicles because he freaks out. Well, that's a conversation. So that in the middle of sex, getting a blowjob when he's enjoying himself, I don't step over a boundary that he has, and enter the land of like not enjoyable. So especially when we get into some of the other touching that's going to happen while you're giving a blowjob, you're wanting to make sure that, for example, like if you're giving a blowjob and you happen to like avoid other areas, like you don't want to like get oops wrong hole.
Oops wrong hole, your guy. Probably every woman has experienced the oops wrong hole from some man in her life. So that's just not nice.
You gotta ask.
No, it's not. That's not it.
Mildly, it's not nice.
So don't oops wrong hole your man unless you want to get back
Okay, I
in.
just thought we would practice some prostate massage too. Woo! Yeah,
Yeah.
Talk about that ahead of time. Prepare.
Especially if you're learning to both enjoy the blowjob more, you're wanting to make sure that you're having the conversations, that you're setting the boundaries, because you're both learning. And especially when she's trying to learn to deep throat, if she's kind of practicing with that, you're wanting to make sure that there's also conversation happening and going on. Plus, it's always nice to get some feedback too during
That doesn't mean that you're necessarily having a whole conversation about giving a blowjob.
No, that's like,
but
yes,
there
maybe.
is a, you know, like,
Quit talking.
Quick talk.
don't be afraid to make, if you are enjoying it as the giver, don't be afraid to make the noises to let him know. To grab a hold of the ass and pull him in a little
Yeah.
bit more. To, you know, go play with pressure, play with sensitivity, play with different moves and everything, which we're going to get into. Don't be afraid to throw his ass down on the floor or the couch and be like, no, I want this now. Most guys will be okay with that.
But ask closed-ended questions, like if you're a woman, like, would you like me to suck harder?
Right.
Yes, no. Would you like me to go softer? Yes, no.
Right. And
Is it okay I hold your hair a little bit? Yes, no.
And if you do come up with a question, because here's the thing, if you've noticed that your partner is laying there like a dead body and there is not a whole lot going on, chances are he is no longer where you want him to be because something crossed the boundary or he lost it. There's something that happened. Either something got oversensitive, so that spot, right? So now he's really not feeling it. He's like, okay, I don't want to like bust her bubble here, but that really sucks. So he's gone off and is thinking about something else. Or a boundary has gotten crossed where it was just something that, you know, triggered something and he doesn't even know what the heck's going on. Because, sorry guys, you're not that great at touching in on your emotions for the most part. As women, if that happens, you need to be aware, conscious that your man has kind of left the building. And that's a great space to go, is there, you know, do you want me to do this? Do you want me to do that? Do you want more pressure? Do you want this, that, or maybe just completely change moves and like come up and kiss him or do something like that to bring him back into his body. So don't be afraid. Blowjobs are not always just about the cock, it's about the whole body. So much like I tell guys during Taco Delight class, treat her whole body like one great big pussy. Make love to her whole body. Well, guess what, ladies? Treat his whole body like one great big cock. Realize that this is all a sexual organ and that touching the arms, touching the hips, touching the thighs, teasing the inside of the thighs, playing with different things, playing with the nipples is all going to work. So giving a sensual kiss, looking him in the eyes occasionally. You don't have to have, staring contests. It's not about that, because then you're not going to be, for us ladies, no little news flash going. Us ladies are more into ourselves and the feelings and really getting turned on a lot of the time when we have our eyes closed, because we're going inward and we're in sensation. And when we're making eye contact, we're more in our mind, which comes into like that power play. Now we're having that power play. But if you can dance between the two, that's perfect for the blowjob.
And even on the communication a little bit, it is nice to hear as a woman, like, some bones and some like yes, some like feedback, and vice versa. I don't know any guy that doesn't like to hear like, oh baby, I'm loving this when you're giving a blowjob. So again, it's not always, the blowjob isn't always about, cock in mouth the entire time. It is a dance.
And
There's
don't
different
hold
moves.
back the moan or the comment that you might have just because you're like, oh, how goofy is that going to sound, or what he, she is going to perceive. Allow yourself to go ahead and say it. Because a lot of times it'll start to come up and then you go, oh, you just keep doing this. Like, I can't say that, right? Well, if you're having sex with the person, you got the man's cock in your mouth, go ahead and say what you're going to say, okay?
If you can't verbalize it, then his cock probably shouldn't be in.
Just say it.
You can't say it, then your cock shouldn't be there.
You're amazing. Whatever comes to mind, it doesn't much matter. I'm out. Except for the ejaculation.
Yeah. Hold down.
Words.
Unless we decide. Go in at any time.
No. We're going to set the kind of the
Yeah.
positions.
We're not going to go through all the different sex positions. There are a whole bunch of pictures. So if you need help, there's a whole bunch of drawings in here. For
Some are better than others.
Stick figures.
No.
Some are good.
So lots of different positions just to play with, to give you some different ideas. Some positions are better than others.
Yeah. And it explains why.
Yes.
Moving from easiest to most advanced, which would be this. So more of a 69 position, that's going to be your most difficult.
Yes. On that note, 69 position. This
Ding.
is where swirl, but not really. 69 position. Now I have a
Tell us about the 69 position.
Somebody teach me, oh my gosh, that's not in it. So 69 position. 69 position. So, have you ever noticed that when you are getting a blowjob and then you decide to go 69 position with your girl, how she then stops giving you a blowjob somewhere along the line? And that's really disappointing, isn't it? So disappointing. It's like, well, so what happens here is that it starts to feel really good to us,
So
and we're like, so we're now here 100%, and we can't be here, okay? So we gotta pick and choose between the two. So then if we're back here, we're not feeling this, okay? We're just not here.
But this is
So
going to
it's
be a bit.
You're wasting your breath, you're wasting your saliva, you're wasting all those awesome moves. If she's like really going to town here and you're playing here, I mean, it can be fun to play with it, but if you're like trying to get her to have an orgasm in 69 position, it's a rare woman that can actually do that. So,
Yeah.
So I mean, and if you're one of those women, well, props to you, woo woo. But for the most part, it's because we cannot be in two locations at once.
So either you're going to get sacrificed or she's going to get sacrificed.
Right. So you gotta, I mean, to ebb and flow back and forth, just realize that if you're in 69 position, that is going to happen back and forth like that, that you're not going to be able to fully experience that awesome blowjob while giving her awesome sex at the same time. It's just not there.
And also, for those of you who do like to play with multiple partners, same.
Yep.
Just be aware. Or you might get bit by accident. Yeah, reflex. Let's talk about that a little bit about.
I can't get it up. You can't get it down.
I just have skills. I just have more skills than you. No, we gotta poke at you when I can. Okay, so gag reflex. Somebody mentioned at the very beginning they don't like the gag reflex. And the gag reflex can be incredibly sexy and incredibly powerful. There are different levels of gag. If you like to not continue to keep going, and you're like choking.
Go up, you probably went too far.
So, I mean, that was my first blowjob experience.
For love?
I ended up throwing up on my boyfriend. It was not pretty. He was not happy. But it's because I didn't know how far to go and I was nervous, so I was clenched down. So the more you clench down as a woman in your body, the more likely you're going to tighten up all these muscles and so clench down your throat. So the more likely you're going to gag.
That's heartbeat is going pretty fast and you're breathing quickly and stuff. That means that your body's clenching and that you're not 100% comfortable with the situation. So what you want to do there is actually pay attention to your breath and relax your body. So it's all about relaxing into your body. Granted, your heartbeat might be up because you're turned on and stuff, but if you're feeling like there's just this tightening in your core about stuff, you are not being present to the situation and there's something triggering you.
But the gag itself is not bad. Most women gag at some point when giving a blowjob. It is a sign that unless you are really deep throating, if you are not deep throating and you're gagging, then yes, you are probably holding on too tight. But I don't know any man who doesn't find a little bit of gagging kind of sexy. And you're going to release that saliva that is so important for you. Now, once you are gagging, you have that, when you're deep throating, you can push past just a little bit, and that would be deep throating, and kind of taking it into the back of your throat and really breathing into it. So again, relaxing even more.
Breathe through the nose.
Yeah, breathing through the nose. Or if you're not liking it, you can pull back just a little bit. So if you don't want to deep throat and you start gagging. But don't be afraid of the gag. I mean, sex is not nice and clean and orderly and sterilized. It's not. And so it's meant to get a little bit messy. So just laugh, go with it. Don't laugh at it. Sorry, but just kind of go with it. Don't laugh while gagging. That causes an issue. So just kind of go with it and work past that a little bit. But there are, because once you get past the gag reflex, in deep throating, it's a breeze. So once you move past that initial gag, you're good for the most part, unless you clench down. This goes through how to desensitize your gag reflex. So you ladies can practice that.
Applying in a few ways. Lots of different tips and tricks.
Produce is great for helping you with that. I'm sure your men would be very happy to help you.
Oh yeah, like holding your finger towards the back of your mouth or a dildo, your toothbrush. Interesting, like I actually really don't have much of a gag reflex, but my toothbrush goes back there. I'm like gagging all over. So
Don't make yourself do it to the point of throwing.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah.
Not like don't make it.
But you can test the waters of the back of your mouth to find out what areas of the back of your mouth are more sensitive than others, because everybody's sensitivity is going to be a little bit different. So there is a whole bunch there. And then I thought there was maybe I was
There's a lot of 24
Yeah, there's a whole bunch in here. I thought that we had like I know that what you can do also prior to giving a blowjob is you can numbing agent of some sort. So like clove oil, peppermint oil, those kinds of things actually help to numb the area just a little bit. Just on the reverse side of that, if you choose to do like clove oil will make the man last longer. Peppermint oil will make the man come quicker.
Slow to this.
So yeah, so if you don't want him to come as quick, cloves will help. Because what that does is that goes to the head of the penis and actually desensitizes the head of the penis. Where the peppermint oil gives more sensation to the head of the penis, but it will desensitize the back of your mouth a little bit. So it's that cooling agent. You know, like if you're sucking on a peppermint cough drop or something, it makes it really don't.
So do you put the oil on him?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you would just literally take the essential oil or the clove oil, flip it over, and just go
And you
right
don't
to
need
your-
very much at all. And depending on how sensitive he is, you might want to actually put it with an oil such as coconut oil or something. So
Put a little bit, and yeah, don't put direct peppermint.
God.
That'll burn. burn really, really badly. So you want to
Wow.
dilute it a little bit.
You can do peppermint mouthwash works really good. You can try peppermint candies or different flavored candies. So cinnamon also can be another one that you can use different things to play with, which also can help with flavor of content while you're of the semen as well. You can play with that.
So I'm going to run really quickly through some myths. We've covered some of them, but there's no such thing as too much spit. That's not true. Every guy's going to like it a little bit differently. Some guys are going to want it a little bit wetter. Some guys are going to want it not dry, but a little bit less spit. So know your man. But also slobber is not a bad thing when giving a blowjob. So it's not.
The more your mouth is producing saliva, the more turn on the woman is actually having. So again, our mouth is connected to our pussies. So as we get more lubed in here, we're also getting more lubed down here. So that's also a sign of that you're getting turned on and aroused as well, which means that you're becoming more ready for penetration.
So don't apologize for your saliva. Don't apologize for it. And you need to get the whole penis in your mouth. Let's remember that
Not every penis is the same.
not every penis is the same, and that the most sensation. Give me the comment. I want to play with your mouth. Thank you. The most.
I should have gotten this strap on, not for that comment right
I'm keeping the strap on at home because I know
Are you
that in the rest of the sex toy box that I don't touch. The most sensitive part of the penis is the head, so you don't have to get the entire thing in your mouth, especially if your man is really long. That's what hands are for, to kind of help with the sensation. You can't get a STI or STD from the blowjob. We all are adults. We all know that that's not true.
outside of the yeast infection.
Yeah.
Because that's not actually when he does a regular STD.
So, spitting is safer than swallowing. If it goes in your mouth, the chances of an STD or STI are still prevalent. It's about his penis, not his balls. A lot of guys want you to caress their balls while you are doing a blowjob. Don't over suck them. Don't over squeeze them. Be gentle. They are very sensitive, like we talked about in the beginning. Having problems with my cock. I think. So some of the rest you can read. Like some of them are crazy. Like don't give a blowjob while you're on your period. Why wouldn't you?
You get pregnant.
Top myths.
It's top myths.
These are the top myths.
They're the top myths. I'm like, why wouldn't you give a blowjob while you're on your period? It's a great time to give a blowjob.
Right.
Well, does it?
Probably helps with
Does it? Yeah, I was gonna say if because I never knew that there was a connection. Like emotionally, yes, but I didn't know that there was a physical connection until you were talking about the two different areas. So if you are giving a blowjob on your period, wouldn't that calm all your menstrual?
Yeah, it's good because it's working everything. But so the myth is don't give a blowjob while on your period. It's kind of goofy if you actually think about it because it's actually helping everything cycle better.
And calm.
And if you're getting turned on by it at all, then you're releasing positive chemicals from the brain, which is actually going to help with pain,
Cramps.
Releasing your
cramps,
cervix,
you're
all
going
that.
to be more connective, all this different stuff. So all that moodiness that we can get during our periods can be actually offset a little bit. Yeah, dimmed down a little bit with blowjob.
Looking forward to it.
And the guys are air favorite.
Do I need to call your Aunt Flo?
Okay. Okay. Before we go into this,
Here, let's pull up.
oh,
One. Who's got one?
She got it, Christine.
What's she
Good, I
got?
got it.
Must be present to win.
She'll be right back.
What's the prize?
She'll be right back.
careful.
What did she get?
I can't give him something. No.
You get to choose that. That's not my problem.
Then-
Wrong time to
Oh.
Just as she went.
Oh, you didn't know. It's like
Thank
you
you.
know. I didn't even get this.
Pick the price.
You can pick one.
You did that to yourself.
Why did I do that?
Yeah, we're all like,
Isn't this one what we're
Yeah, first that library.
Yeah. All right. Now you want to go up here and make a one. I can't pick one for you. That's not fair.
Okay, pick one for you.
Okay, you pick one.
Wait, we'll get you one later. Let's go on.
Oh, she's plotting against me. Okay. I'm trying to remember what we. Okay. Strokes of perfection. I like that. What's that?
Deepening is
Okay, so deepening intimacy and play. Obviously, kind of what we're hoping to share in this whole thing is playfulness and vulnerability and just that open, connected flow, which is what oral sex is all about. A lot of the times we use oral sex for that in-between moment, that connection when we can't have sex for some reason, or we're just wanting that quick connection because in general it probably is something that we can do in more places than we can normally have sex. Very creative about this. But the other thing is that it is also something that really allows us to have some foreplay on the front side. So blowjobs are a lot of the times our foreplay into lovemaking. A lot. We do that there. So the goal is for him not to come, but for him to actually just get really turned on, and for us women to give us that time to connect, get into our bodies, connect with our partner, to be in power and feel this energy that we get to feel, that arousal, because that power is an arousing thing inside our body. It gets us turned on, gets us all the juices flowing, all that good stuff when we look at it like that.
because a woman needs 20 to 40 minutes to get ready for penetration, and I say that because that is also another class, but she needs that time to really get into her body. So if you're taking the time to really give a truly connected, intimate blowjob and really taking your time and exploring your man, you're getting yourself turned on and ready for penetration so that your orgasm is better as a woman.
So, some playful things to try, and things to just kind of deepen that intimacy and play, because deepening the intimacy is really about touching into vulnerability and surrender for both sides, right? Try performing oral sex in a position that you haven't tried before. Do something different, change it up. There's options in here. Just do things like that. Bring new sensations in by sucking on peppermint, spearmint prior. We kind of went through that, right? Try different flavors, try different sensations. Bring in different toys as well. Try a feather duster. Try ice cubes. You know, different things like that. Try hot tea stimulation. So have a cup of hot tea by you. Take the hot tea, get your mouth nice and warm with that, swallow, and then give a blowjob, and then follow it up with an ice cube right underneath the shaft. Yes, so that kind of stuff right there really brings the, it changes up the game a little bit, because that's what it is. It's a game. It's supposed to be playful. Taking away one of your partner's senses. Blindfolds. Yes, there's one in there. You won one back there too, Louis. That back there. That's
You won.
take.
Oh, you want it?
Yes,
While you were on the
yeah,
flower.
while you were away.
Number
you won.
7.
Oh my
But
God.
you can use headphones, take away.
Yeah, take
noise.
away. You can, you could put headphones in, have them listening to some sort of music. He's getting excited.
I know.
Some sort of music or something like that, or maybe just your voice telling them you don't want to talk dirty to your man because it's a little uncomfortable. Record something dirty for him. So let him listen to it while you're giving him a blowjob. That way you're still being vulnerable, but you're not being as vulnerable as what you might be uncomfortable with in person. Okay? And you still have your voice.
Or do lots of light feather touches, lots of teasing, like barely touch.
Yes.
Like barely touch him. That will get him aroused as well. It's something different than the traditional blowjob.
Drawing out the sensations. Blowjobs are all about it's like a dance. She
Yeah,
said
it's
it
a
on the
dance.
front side. It is a dance.
Fun with it.
If you're just going in to give your man stress release and you're wanting him to pop really, really quick, then you're just gonna go like that. Basically, your mouth is a masturbation tool in that moment. So get right with that because that's all that's gonna happen. There is not gonna be connection. There's not gonna be anything there. It's just about getting him to release really quick so that stress release is there. Okay? If you're wanting it to be a sensual connection and deepening the intimacy and really pleasurable to expand on your sex, on your connection, that's where you get into actually throwing it out. So a lot of the skills that we're going to show you guys in just a moment are focused on not on getting the guy to pop really quick, but on teaching you how to dance with the
And really think of the energy. This is a little tantric, but think of the energy you're bringing into. If you're giving your man a blowjob just to get him off and get him, you know, it's steak and blowjob day, so I have to do this, or it's his birthday, so I'm supposed to do that.
Yeah, that's a great thing.
That was Wednesday.
Oh yeah, it was Wednesday. That's why we're doing the workshop today because important day.
Teach the class close.
But if you're doing it just because you feel like you have to, or you don't want to, and you don't enjoy it, then really the energy you're bringing to that, you are doing an energy exchange, whether you realize it or not. And so if you're in a bad, grumpy mood, if you're getting the blowjob, or if you are in a grumpy, pissed off mood giving the blowjob, then you are definitely sharing that negativity. And so whether you believe it or not, when you look at energetics, we do rub off energetically on each other. So you never want to go into a blowjob going, I just want to get this over with and done with. If that is what you're going in with, then just don't do it. Really, really just don't do it.
You don't want to go into sex like that.
No.
You really don't. I'm going to share a brief story because I could not believe. I mean, I've known that for years that we impact each other energetically and how we share things and that we actually influence each other. So, and especially in intimate scenarios where we're giving a blowjob just to make a mark. It's okay. We'll get it.
Somebody get a towel.
Or not. It's okay. But
Speaking of ice cream.
speaking of ice cream, yes, you got it. But I had this experience where I was in a really playful mood and I wanted to have sex. So I went to my partner and I was like, let's have sex. Like, let's do this. So I got it all set up and I was like, you do this, you do that. And we're going to do it. And like, we're going to come back here and I'm going to have like toys out. We're going to have a room set up. We're going to do it. I was so excited. I was so excited. So I was in this great mood. Really, really great mood. Very open, very playful. And he comes back and there was no foreplay. There was no nothing. It was basically like jump on, penetrate,
Prozac.
and that was that. And he was pissed. He was upset in the moment. He had had a really stressful day. He was very angry. I did not know any of this. Like he just seemed like this to me. But you know, nothing significant. After that brief moment happened, I spent the next 48 hours angry as hell. I was so pissed off, and I had nothing to be angry about. Like everything was groovy, like everything was wonderful. I looked out at the outside situation when there was no reason for me to be this angry about anything. Like nothing's making me mad. I have nothing to be mad about. But I was furious. Inside, I was absolutely furious. And what I realized was that he was, when I actually approached him, I was like, what was your day like? He said, oh, blah, 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 like that. And he was telling me all this stuff that was upsetting to him and how pissed off he was. He literally injected me with his anger, and it took me 2 days to overcome it. I was like, that is it. I'm never having sex with an angry man again. Like, it's fine. If you're not happy, if you're not mellow, then forget it and wait another day. So the reason I say that is because a lot of the times us women want to give to our partners in multiple ways, such as sex or blowjobs or actual sex, when we know that our guy is having a really stressful, not great day when he is potentially angry. So the side effect of that is that it can affect us as well. So if this has happened in your life and you don't understand why you went from an okay mood to now you're just this moody woman, you don't know what the heck happened, it could actually be some sort of energy exchange. And it's not saying don't have sex, don't connect that way, but try to set the stage a little bit more. Go do something together. Get out of that stressful situation. Put those things aside. Build up to it. Don't just do what I did where I was like, let's go do like that. No, it can backfire. And guys, if you're in a really, really bitchy mood, let your woman know that so that so she's not walking in blind. Because if he had told me that on the friend side, chances are I'd been like, let's go get a massage, let's go to lunch, let's go do this, let's go do that, versus let's
Up to the
and
end
then
of the
I
bed.
felt used and abused and angry for no reason on top of it, which was really just this compounding effect. So.
Well, let's get playful.
Okay. No seriousness. I just want to point out she did do the PDF. So guys, when you read this, and the first thing on here says strokes of perfection, and it says common techniques: biting.
Man, I think that was like a pre.
That was supposed to be taken out of the draft.
I think that I was getting what you, but like, I wasn't like talking like clamping down, like a little like nibble, like sexy nibble.
It says clearly biting. Biting.
No, but so when you're giving your man a blowjob, if you nibble right along here, it actually increases sensation. There's blood vessels that go right.
Keep comments is just
Yeah. So don't bite. It's like more of a nibble.
It went down on that comment.
A light nibbling, especially right on the blood vessels that go down towards the genitals.
Yes, you are true. Very, very accurate. So yeah, that teasing on the thighs, not on the actual penis itself. Yeah. Okay. Kissing. Lots of different play with the kissing. Sure. I'm sorry I didn't get all creative this year. I'm not kissing the cucumber right this very second. I'll hold it. Okay. Thank you. So, what's wrong with my coffee? Kissing, pressing the lingo in the mouth. So basically, this is all about just quite literally like you're pressing. Okay, so different pressing on the tip. This way, along the tip. This would have been done if I had just hard.
That's what I'm
I
saying.
did not have time to cry. Sorry, guys. Play
Yeah,
with different pressure techniques on that. Actually, what you can do with the pressing, one thing is hum with the pressing. This hum on there, that gives a really, really cool vibrational feeling that goes down the whole shaft. And I've even had partners say that they feel it in their testicles. Rotate the cock between the mouth, between your mouth licking and sucking action. So you're going to just quite literally go from licking and then sucking, play with the sucking. Some guys like hard sucking, some guys like soft sucking. Kind of into the inquiry here. This is where the communication factor comes in.
Yeah.
Right. So some guys really want like this hard sensation. There's a lot more sensation for them that way. Others, it's like, no, don't do that. Rubbing with your lips, rubbing with your tongue, rubbing with your fingers, like this. Or stroking.
Which would be
Doesn't move. Stroking.
or like a double kind of sensation.
I already did the sucking. I skipped ahead. Oops. And then, of course, swallowing the cock. So that's part of the actual deep throating. So that's taking it all the way back in. Remembering to breathe with your nose and just allowing yourself to really just take as much back. Which is why I suggested start with a soft cock so that you can play with that a little bit. And that's going to allow you to build up that sensation with, because if you go in with a hard cock that's for a first time, yeah, especially. Okay, alternative techniques. You know what, we're not gonna go
Yeah,
because
yeah,
we're gonna
yeah.
actually show.
Yeah.
Oh, and then we have the live demo.
Love doing.
Not doing. Okay, so the next portion of this is the fun portion.
We want the walk.
Yes,
With us.
everybody gets to experience. Gentlemen, you get to hold on to your cocks. Find your female partner.
Oopsie.
If you don't have a female partner, we're gonna.
You got him, I got him. Okay, my guys, sorry. Oh, it might be fun.
I was gonna remind you about last year, but that's okay. Do you remember last year's workshop? It's not my name.
I know we let them sit out too, room wise. I was gonna put them in the ice box, but then they looked at me like,
Probably like an ice cold tea.
You think so? Eve. No.
oh, I got his phone.
Okay, you got his phone? You got his phone?
I'd love to, but not to.
That's fine, but now we're not, that's a different workshop that we haven't even created.
Yeah, no.
We haven't created
Kristen
that one.
didn't do that one either. I was like, wait, we have Kristen. What did she do? I didn't know. Okay. So, what we're gonna actually have everybody do is we're gonna change this up because everybody's handling their coughs a little awkwardly. Okay, you gotta be proud about your coughs. Okay, so we're gonna take the pressure off a little bit. We're gonna actually have couples get together, stand together, and just find a little space so that you can still see the two of us up here. Single guys, I'm so sorry, you're center stage. So this way. Oh, yeah,
I don't need a double cough either. Not today, not in that mood.
so you got her.
You guys just stand right next to me.
Oh, I can take on two.
He doesn't want to.
We're not gonna film this part.
Okay.
Oh,
Get right with it.
Just so that
first thing we're gonna do is the tip tease. And so that is literally what it sounds like. So you're gonna do some kissing, and then like maybe a little like tongue motion just around the tip. But it really is just the tip of the cup. Okay?
everybody get that?
So just some light sucking and kissing on the tip, little tongue action, lots of swirling.
So
Use, I was gonna say, you can use your, the tip tease also includes breath. So you can do like,
or just the warmth, opening your mouth up and breathing warmly on. So warm breath and then sucking. Tip tease. Ladies, if you need, close your eyes, breathe into your stomachs. Look at your partner's eyes for support. Then, if that's too intimate, keep your eyes closed and just feel the cucumber.
so then also you want to get your hands involved at this point gently. So that is where you might go down, you might do some kissing and play on the head while also taking your hands and maybe doing some light touching, some light strokes like this. Like
you can do this.
So that would be like
You're putting your hands like, okay.
Opposite directions. Like that. Or you can just do one hand. Place your hand what would be on the pelvic bone right here in the pelvis. And you can go like this. And then keeping your mouth at the top of the cough. Okay?
now you're gonna move into a deeper level where you're taking it more into your mouth completely. That was a lot of just more mouth action on the very tip. Now you're gonna want to take the whole tip in and start really getting the shaft involved, including we don't have testicles on our cucumbers, but including grabbing.
But you know what? You can
Play
use his fist as the testicle.
Yeah, so
base.
doing a little
So
bit
you
of
can-
gentle
you
play.
can test with that. So just to do like this, test, and you can actually basically create a cock ring with your fingers, like this. So making an OK. Create a cock ring around the cucumber, pressing up what would be the pelvic bone. Yes, perfect. Thank you. And then teasing the testicles like that. And then you can go ahead and practice with.
So you would do like that. I don't wanna contaminate this cock, but gonna go contaminate this cock over here.
Priorities.
Yes. Stop kicking me. I have a cucumber in my mouth. Oh. Gonna hurt.
I'm sorry. Okay, then you're also gonna want to get into some swirls along the whole rest of the cock. So we have focused on the tip as of right now, but like some swirling and like let it hit your face a little. It's fine.
Yes, so you can do that outside swirling where the cock is actually touching the outside of your face, like that. Or
internal.
you can internally just swirl your tongue around the cock. So just play with it, okay? It doesn't have to be a perfect circle. I guarantee you he's gonna like it no matter what. So you can just swirl it around. So if your tongue you get a little tongue-tied, don't worry about it, okay? Pay attention to what your pussy's telling you, ladies. Gentlemen, tap into your cock.
Then the next. That's my cucumber cock. Yeah, it is. Don't forget also you can lift up the backside, so right up where the frenulum would be, you want to start at the bottom of the shaft. And you want to make sure that you're hitting the frenulum, which would be right here.
So that's that sweet spot that we're talking about.
And you can kind of like
yes.
hit your tongue off of it.
So yeah, so you're basically going to do this with your tongue on that right past the circumcision line, that sweet spot that we were talking about. That's where you guys go to for masturbation. That's the most sensitive spot. Yes, right there.
So if it's the tongue,
So you're just going to flip right there with your tongue. Okay? So.
and that you might want to stretch the cock up towards their bellies, so you can get a really good. You get the full length to kind of lick down, and then you can lick the other direction as well. So now we don't want to forget about the rest of their body. So you're wanting to nip up the inner thighs, do some tickling sensations.
We're
at the
obviously
same
not
time.
demoing that portion.
Yeah.
But
So lots of
if
like.
you're with your partner, then you feel free to. May I touch you?
May I touch you?
May I touch you? No, but I mean, you can feel free to go ahead and grab your partner by the hip or something, and just practice one move, and try moving, take your hand up to their chest. Practice eye contact. Left eyes. If you focus in left eye to left eye, you're going to come more from a space of heart than from mind. Right eye connection is more from the mind. It's more like alpha dogging each other, more of a space of ego, more of the masculine energy. And you actually just bring your consciousness to your left eye and look at your partner's left eye. Don't overwork it. Don't try to do too much, but just look into your partner's left eye and relax. Okay? And try that.
So the next thing would be, you want to just now play with it and kind of mix things together. But once you've got a really good flow, then you're going to want to try to go for the deep throat. Now, you don't necessarily, we haven't been doing it that long, then kind of stop and start. But you're definitely going to want to then, at that point, you can go into the deep throat, which is a relaxed. So this position, so if you're on your knees, it's going to be an easier position for most guys, unless your guy has a definite curvature to their cock, which some guys do. So find the position that works for you, but generally, I know for me, being lower is easier to do a deep throat than the up sensation.
Right. Depending if you are a man with a curve, depending on the curve, realize that sometimes that might mean that you actually lay down side by side to each other, because that curve is easier for the woman to take in if you're actually laying like this, taking in the cock, versus or on the other side, depending on how the curve is, just so that there's actually there's not that stress on here. Because if you curve upward, just put it together. It's like our throats don't go that way. That's why you have to actually play with different, or maybe laying on your back might be a little bit easier of a way for a woman to actually be able to give a blowjob with a man, depending on the curve. If you have a complete and total bend, then it's going to be more hands and mouth. Sorry, and yes, I have seen guys that have like complete and total bends. Yes, L-shaped penises. Sorry, I just had this vision go through my head. Okay, go for it.
And try.
Okay,
I'm not.
I know.
I don't think I'm warmed up enough.
Cucumbers,
It's hard.
are way harder than what an actual.
Well, I'm gonna have to put it different.
You can do it.
Yeah, same. And she gagged a little bit, so that means that right back here is exactly where she brought it all the way back to. Now, notice I'm going to totally put you on stage.
Yeah,
notice
that's fine.
that she
I didn't
has
relax.
tears in her eyes. She's flushed on her face. If we pulled her shirt down, she's probably flushed here a little bit too. Okay. Temperature, body temperature probably went up a lot. She's probably feeling it down here a lot too in that moment. More saliva in the mouth. These are all signs of turn on, ladies. Okay, those are all signs of turn on. It's not a negative, it's a positive. Okay? That doesn't mean that you just that you have to necessarily keep going, but that little bit of gag, and notice how long she held it. She did not hold it there forever. She kind of like gag, gag, gag. No, she brought it back, little gag, allowed herself to feel the saliva right there, the warmth in the body went up, and she slowly retracted.
So, but FYI, they are very hard, so it does.
Yeah, I would
So-
imagine. I didn't think that we would actually do deep throat practice. Well, you can show them.
So now you get to just play. Play for a few minutes. Really, there is no dance with your cock. Dance with it. So, yeah. I sometimes will even be like I'll get a groove kind of going. So get a groove going.
Get a groove going.
Ready? Groove.
Okay. You ready for this?
Try to walk through the entire process. With your hand. I don't know if you would I don't have any nerves.
This is how she eats, guys. This is her come on line.
She's kind of blinky.
She's watching cucumbers and hold a second.
Hold my cucumber. So really pay attention to the feelings that you're having in your body. Remember that it is more about the sensations that you're having in your body than your actual moves.
Alright.
Oh!
I know, I want to eat my I was like, I really want to eat my cucumber now. I'm really hungry.
So
Don't
discuss after
Don't
that.
use your teeth. It's yeah.
That's what happened, that hurts.
Just start calling her Lorena.
All right. So if you guys are done, you kind of come on back. Give your woman your cucumber to eat. Dance in your own kind of way, but if we don't want you getting too much in your head, like, oh, I'm supposed to do this next, and this, it really is a play. But start off really more with like the slower at first, and then don't try to jump straight into the deep. That is really where we're getting at.
It's
To
in
get the arousal up.
That's in the 201 course.
Hmm?
That's in the 201 course.
201 course? Yeah, maybe. No. The 201 course happens at home for you guys. Yeah, so that's
That's a wow.
Get playful. Explore. Hopefully, I mean, the gist of what I hope that you guys got out of that little experience. I know that you kind of got put on the spot there. That was very vulnerable, very sensitive, and all this different stuff. Like, whoop. But at the same time, just doing that right there is completely. Yep, in. Where's the ranch at?
Oh, this just took a turn for the king.
Should have brought ranch.
Next year. Next year we'll bring a ranch cup.
Or ranch. That would be good because it's white.
And then the guy could have been like, hey,
Wow.
But it has blue flecks in it, so that's like, whoa, run away.
Yeah, giving you guys those little personal ranch ones and you can pull out your back one like,
Put a straw down the center of the cucumber. It's a little,
oh no, you're getting
We're
it.
getting
You
to
can-
I'm an engineer.
I'll give you the cucumbers, just set it up.
I'm an engineer, I can't help it.
Oh, okay.
There we go.
Okay. So, yeah. No, but hopefully what you got from that, the biggest thing there is that, yes, there's these skills, but overly, what's the skills? It's more about your connection to self, number one, and then your connection to your partner. So really tapping into here first. So that's why, quite literally, before you give a blowjob, ladies, get into your pussy. Like, get into your pussy. Go and experience yourself and just breathe and relax. Guys, make her laugh. Bring joy into it. If she's more easygoing and laughing and enjoying it, if it's all serious and there's duty wrapped around it, then she's not going to be turned on. If you've got a woman laughing and smiling and getting up,
oops, I just like James Harvey.
right, right. Okay, look at straight.
No, but like it really, laughter is very opening. It's opening of the heart, and really that's where you're needing to open the heart to get everything else in the body open.
Yes, it is really about that. So bringing in that connection, and if you ladies can get into your pussies a little bit more and experience that and warm that area up, then you're not gonna do wrong moves. Okay, you're not. I guarantee you, unless you have teeth. I mean, like don't like that. Not good. Not good. So, number 9.
Everyone's gonna get something.
Here we go.
Yeah, in education.
Right.
Eight.
That's right.
That one. Oh, you got 8?
You already won.
That's 6. It's like whatever's in my hand.
You gotta sit.
There's another one.
6?
Three.
Enhances libido. Really, really good for
Any other threes?
What are you guys doing?
right?
I have 4, so I have 6 here, 4.
Oh.
2.
Right
There we
here.
go.
There we go.
Enhances libido. Really good for them then.
For you.
Is that the girl thing?
Both of you, but really good for you.
I don't understand.
Oh,
Numbers
Can you believe it?
4.
There you go.
wait, Henry.
Eva's.
And we got another one.
Yeah.
Is this the same thing? The dark mint? Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're Where do we put it?
Did we have another 4?
Let's go on them.
Mouth.
On
It's
the-
supplement. Explore.
Oh.
Yes, Maca. It's really, really good. What do I have here?
Dark
Thank you.
blue.
Okay. So we are down to 2 last ones.
Is 10 even in there?
Nah.
Oh, that's okay.
10.
10.
You get the prostate massage.
Welcome.
Yeah, I'll trade you now for a.
Prostate.
And the last but not least, 5. 5.
Here we go.
And then everybody gets these lovely little glow in the dark dice. So they're just for fun. You throw, they say lips, lick, just different things you can do. So they're just fun to play. Okay, and here you go.
So on the maca, is it, how do you're supposed to?
So you can put it in your coffee, you can put it
Is
in,
it a daily supplement or
I put it in yogurt sometimes.
How much? Teaspoon or 2 spoons?
is it a daily?
Yeah, like I have.
So both of you, once a day?
Or do you set it on your phone?
She knows where to put the powder. That's not mine. Half a teaspoon.
If couples only want one, just let me know. Do you guys, do you want 2 sets of dice? Okay. You guys
We got a camera.
Maca powder is known. You're gonna when you take maca powder, it's, I believe it originated with the Mayans. Don't hold me to that. but if you research it and everything, maca powder is really, really good for your libido.
But you don't want it on you.
No, you take it.
Yes.
So add it into a milkshake.
Some of
Add
us
it
might have done
into
that. I'm
add it
not
into
saying
the
who.
milkshake. Yeah.
In the morning, sometimes I'll put it, if I'm making like a yogurt parfait, I'll put some on top of
You
my
can sprinkle
yogurt.
it on top of your yogurt. You can put it into a milkshake. You can add it into your coffee. It has numerous health benefits in there. They keep discovering things about maca powder, so you can't go wrong with it. It's one of those things. And I was blessed with a whole bunch of maca powder. So
Where do you
my
get it?
hair has some.
I was gonna say, now where do you get it?
Whole Foods. That company actually sells big containers. Those are the small ones.
Amazon, you get it.
So yeah. But you can get Whole Foods, Sprouts, anywhere online.
Big part of things other than dark mint?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, that's just the one that I got like 2 cases of this stuff. So I look for any opportunities to share the bliss of maca.
You said half a teaspoon a day?
Yeah. I think that whatever it says on the back. Whatever it says on the back.
So does anybody have any?
It has kind of like a malty flavor to it, so it's like malt chocolate, so it has that kind of You were raising your hand.
Will it change? You were talking about diet and everything else can change flavor and texture. Will the maca affect the semen in any way?
Positively, yes. Yes, positively.
Do you know, it's okay if you don't, you know you can take it while nursing?
I take maca frequently, like a couple times a week, and I've nursed every single one of my kids. I've never had any issues, but I would definitely look at it just in case to make sure.
Yeah.
It doesn't have herbs in it. Herbs are where you get scared of nursing
Okay.
herbal things.
Yeah.
But it doesn't
It's a
seem
root.
like
It is a root, but I would just look
Yeah.
and see
Yeah.
exactly what
research.
Yeah. Yeah.
But he questions.
Okay. That's right.
So, yeah. But it will, after a week or 2 of taking it, you will start to notice the libido and everything. So it does help like with testosterone and different things like that. So those things that kind of energy boost naturally, it's a fantastic supplement. So, yeah, it helps the balance. And I do encourage you to just research, just type into Google maca benefits and you're gonna pull up massive amount. So, and lots of different companies out there. And the Amazon it for that's what I would recommend. So yeah. So all right. So what we're into now is Q&A.
Yeah,
And we're
questions,
done.
anything?
So yeah.
I have a question.
Yes.
So I
issues with consistency, not really the taste when it comes to swallowing, and I need tips to get beyond that.
The consistency of the actual semen.
Yes.
A lot of that is the mind game a lot, but what you can do is try different candies and stuff because that will help produce more saliva in your mouth to help break that down. And that can help with not only just flavor and stuff, but it'll actually break down the consistency of that. The other thing that you can do is on the front side, just practice like just allowing yourself if you get a little bit in your mouth and you're like, whoop, just hold your mouth open, but just let it drip. Okay, just go for that. I mean, obviously he probably knows that you're working through it, so it's like, I want to try this, but I don't know how far I can go. If you're open and honest about it, then it's not going to come across like that you're disgusted. You're trying to expand and you're trying to learn. So be open and honest about that. That's what you're trying to do, but you don't know how far where that boundary is for you this time. And here's the thing: this time it might be not that much. Next time it might be not that much, and then all of a sudden, like, okay, hey, I did it. And then another time, something's off in you, and you just can't. I can't swallow every single time. Sometimes I'm like, ugh, no. And it's typically me. I'm like, I'm having some issue inside that I'm just like, no, yeah. And we got our hormones to deal with, so we're just moving. You guys are just.
No, but I mean, it really does. The hormones, because they're affecting our pussies, are really actually affecting our mouths and what, and kind of the sensation.
I mean, just think about like we crave different foods at different times in the month. Depending on where we're at, we have different cravings, different sensations going on in our body. Well, that means that when we're actually taking in our man's semen, that there's going to be these things that those are things that we can't control. So you just take it where it is. Always start off by creating that safe container of, hey, I want to try this, but I don't necessarily know if I can. He's going to be prepared for it. Hey, it's an honor that you want to try it. So that's a move forward. And then practice with candy. Keep water. Try like having seltzer water by candy, so that you can basically do like take the shot and then you do the Coke back.
There's a lot of
I'm like, I need to chase
But
I mean,
seriously, you know what? Never mind. Whew. Plug your ears over there. Plug your ears. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna share this.
Tell us.
Please. No, you don't have to. You'll just probably think it's hot. So I had an experience where I actually was with multiple men all at once, and I did this whole blowjob scenario. So that's my opinion, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. But what I did was I did alcohol chasers. So I did a chaser with tequila afterwards because I love tequila.
Yeah.
So I did a chaser with tequila because I did this experience of that. But because number one, I was not very close and personal with everybody in the group. It was also that there was a trust factor there. Tequila, the alcohol kills bacteria, kills all this different stuff for that, but it also cleans the mouth out really, really quick. So there is that. But you can also try seltzer water, which is really good. Regular water can be just by the bedside. You can try orange juice, pineapple juice, different things. It's really personal preference on that. But anything like that, don't feel bad about having to, have the chaser because it's one of those things. And you're moving forward each time in that experience and that growth, and that's really, really where it's at.
And if you really don't want your man to come in your mouth, really just say, I'm not there today. So no, I'm a no today. Or the only thing I stress to you ladies is not to take it in your mouth and go, and spit it.
That's me.
Because that is, we talked about, we really talked about how that's taking your man in and accepting. It's a lot better on the front end if you either say, I'm a no so when you're gonna come, like, come on my face, come on my chest, something like that. Or if he does come in your mouth, either let it
Relax the mouth,
and let it.
and quite literally, you have to bring your hand right here to the base, to the head of the cock, and then you're blocking. So he's in okay? He's not so much paying attention right now to what's going on right here. So he's like this. This is the opportunity that you can relax your mouth and just quite literally let it kind of drain to the side, and then you just like that. It's discreet, it's soft, it's a lot more just not the.
Yeah. And that is, I mean, if think about it, if you were we'll say mid climax, like your man's down on you and he's like, yeah, you'd be like,
Right.
you know, how traumatizing would that be for the body to be in this open state and then hear like, yep, that's disgusting, you would go like this. Your entire body would go like this.
So, yeah. Somebody else have that.
I was going to ask about scheduling. You guys were talking about different months. Do you do classes like this every single month? Because I've never seen anything or heard anything about it.
We
I've
normally
been in
have a
Dallas for
class
really
a
long time.
month going of some sort.
Not all. This is one of the deeper sexual,
Yeah.
directly sexual. I'd say directly sexual, not sexual.
What are we having next month's April? Oh, next month we're doing actually female orgasm camp down we're at Beltane. So I'm doing 2 talks and getting naked for an orgasm on a table for them. Shucks. So there probably be like online courses that we'll have coming out for that month. Although I don't know, we normally, I think both of us really at this
Oh,
point
we have
enjoy-
Tantra. We have our Tantra workshop.
Oh, that's right. We have Tantra 201. We have Tantra 101 in January reboot, and we're doing Tantra 201 Spring Awakening, which is Spring Awakening. So it's deepening that. It is a PG-13 class rated for language because we have to cross words. All right. So it's only the singles and couples. It's just teaching a lot of tantric practice so that you can bring that into every aspect of your life. Well, that's not that. What is that? It is Tantra. So Tantra is known for the little 5% of the piece of the pie that it talks about sexuality, because unlike other practices, it's all about every aspect of life. So everything's woven together, not just focusing in on health and nutrition, on relationship, on spirit, on work. It takes in everything. But it does focus in on using your sexual energy as a major piece of your life well-being.
So we're both tantric practitioners, and you got some tantra little nuggets.
It's woven in there.
Yeah, even today. And then we have female orgasm workshop again in August.
Well, I'm teaching with Kim Holden a female masturbation class in May, ladies. So we're doing a female masturbation class, and it'll be a teamer class. It's not going to be anything. Actually, it won't even be this is really like this is a daring class, and then our other daring classes are the orgasm camps in August and in December. Those are out. Occasionally we do a female ejaculation class. I can tell you how you can tell if it's daring or not. If it says velvet curtain on it, that's a daring class. Across the board, like they are awesome to host that, but it provides that safe space, that container where we can actually do that. I can't necessarily break out, the table and teach about orgasm in my conference room. So, or at Doubletree's not going to allow me in their conference room doing that. It's not going to happen. So yeah. So if it says velvet curtain, you're going to get into more of this playing field. If it says another space, which normally is my office building in Plano, then that is what I would classify as PG-13. It's more about just doing internal work. There's going to be sharing and everything, but there's definitely not going to be any major life demos going on right now. But yeah, so there's female masturbation. The Tantra 201 class next month, female masturbation in May. June, we are doing a women's retreat in the Hill Country. So we're doing a 3-day retreat for a small group of women, up to about 12 women. And we're going to be working through loving our bodies. It's all goddess practices, and it's just going to be very, very, everything is taken care of. So we have this really, really cool little, cabins.
Yeah, little cabins.
Main room, yoga, meditation, good food, laughter, dance.
You're going to leave with like a picture, a goddess portrait of yourself.
Yes, we have photographer, all that good stuff.
You can find that on both of our websites.
July is all on her because I am off on a mission trip the front end of July, and then I'm bikini coaching my happy butt from Maui for the rest of the month. So, yeah, life sucks. And then August will be orgasm camp back here, and December will be orgasm camp back here. We don't have September, October, November.
Bondage, probably.
A bondage will be in October. Probably we do a bondage class in October, a ropes class, and I teach that with Dr. Michael Harris. He's a ropes specialist, dope guy. So we actually teach, and that is a one-on-one class. It is a very fun, connective experience as well. So that's always October.
So to know what's kind of going on, you're going to be on
our calendar.
Yeah, you're going to go on either of our calendars and then get on our newsletter, and you'll hear what we're doing. So if we add anything in, because sometimes we just get spontaneous, like this year we decided, hey, we want to do a cunnilingus class like a couple months ago, and we literally just did it. So just
Mango, we'll
Mangoes.
do cunnilingus.
Yeah, good.
that was a good workshop, dude.
I
Yes.
so like doing that here.
That was so awkward. Only I
We were practicing in my kitchen, and we
both were like,
open,
are you
and
turned on?
like, all right, yeah.
Thanks for coming. Is it intimate nervous?
It was a movie. So, yeah. So, any other questions, comments, observations? Anything? Thank you. Thank you all. Before you guys go, I'm going to do a quick inside out really quick, just to feel where everybody's at before everybody runs away. Okay. The thing I enjoyed most about the class today was
The laughter and the energy everybody brought into the room, and the turn on wasn't bad.
Openness.
Education.
Yeah, education,
I really liked like the health aspect and like the science that you all really shared.
I liked how the energy built, the humor, the yes, the class.
The practical application.
Well, I'm considering over there, it's just calm down and just focus on each other.
The name's on. So sweet.
Yeah, I'm with him. The comfortability that, you know, because the way that y'all are presenting it allows us to feel comfortable about it. So you can take some of the barriers down.
So which number of seats?
Presenters. Yes.
Energy, the connection, the laughter.
Anybody? I know you love that. I loved all the sharing, the laughter. I mean, I love classes that are laughter focused anytime that is there. And your guys' interaction was phenomenal. Seriously, you guys make the class.
Yeah.
So thank you very much for being you and just showing up and being so present and just easy to teach. That's phenomenal. Sometimes we get a room of dead people. And she's like, and then it's just like,
Where the blank looks though.
Oh,
we're going.
Can you start Irish step dancing? What do you want me to do here?
They're trying everything and they're just like, all right, that's like that was my class.
Break out a jig, break out a jig.
Sounds like tequila shots, everyone. What's that? The sensation I have in my body right now is
A warm tingling in my pussy and an openness in my heart.
Yeah, nothing like that.
I want what you
Yeah, right. 201.
That was I'm very comfortable. Let's say that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Sensation, and what's a sensation in your body currently?
Yeah, really, I mean, it's just that, that's.
My happy is so.
Yeah, definitely, very excited about the next 10, 20 minutes. Maybe.
You're right home.
Remember to say that.
I would say that you guys
Regular 45 minutes.
My Uber driver is right there.
There.
Right home. There's no.
Bring the Uber guy.
You're cold.
Tingly.
Yeah, excited.
Anticipation.
Just cold.
Reason, I know I've been.
It is cold over here. I would say more empowered, just more comfortable.
Happy.
Looking forward to a blowjob shot.
Look up shots.
So did you bring the tequila for us?
Now we're going to get one.
He's got it in the car.
Oh, okay.
You might have it spotted. Did you go shopping before? So maybe. There you go. This is the one thing that I don't want
What's
to
going on in your body?
Oh, I didn't say. Sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm talking to myself.
Don't leave me alone and Timmy's doing it.
This is not quite the control. I actually have a lot of warmth right at the entry of my pussy. It's a throbbing sensation. I don't even want to do it.
You're sure you don't want to do a demo?
Alright. That's a little bit better than mine. I'm not quite at that point.
And then there's I got a lot of like bubbly feeling in my heart and just warmth and really cold. Really cold. So I was like, at our Tantra 101 class, I made a comment about that. I was doing pigeon and yoga pose, and I had a client that I was in this meditation. And oh my gosh, I was like, I just needed to stretch out my back for a moment. So he's like in this massive meditation. So I got a perfect moment, like I can slide down and just do this pigeon to like open up and try to like pop my back. So I go into this pigeon pose, and I almost had an orgasm in pigeon pose. And I'm sitting there going,
pigeon pose in the world.
orgasm right now because he's like, oh. Sit on the other side of the room meditating, and I'm going to go and have orgasm on the floor. It's like, oh, that's bad. So yeah,
No, the Buddhist probably would have been happy about
It's
that.
not bad, it's just probably
might have
not
led me to
ideal.
other thoughts. And
Yeah.
I was like, no, you're my
Probably not ideal.
This is the one thing that I want to share with the room or say, express, that I would really feel bad about not sharing if I left the room. So, if you leave the room, what's the one thing that you definitely do not want to leave with, you want to get out?
I know, yeah. Just really, for me, it really is, I feel like I share it really well. That just thank you all for your openness and honesty, and it was fun, and thank you for allowing me to share how much I enjoy with all of you.
I don't use my teeth.
So everybody knows. I would just say live, laugh, love.
Yeah.
I just enjoy like sharing this space with everyone in here. You know, we don't know each other. Enjoy meeting you two, and I'm gonna really be thinking about this on my flight back to Seattle tomorrow.
Oh, wow, Seattle.
Yeah, I was born and raised here, but I go back and forth every week,
Oh.
and I've been trying to make it to you guys' class, so I want to make it to you
No, you
guys.
have. Back to beautiful Seattle.
Probably raining.
Yeah.
Yeah.
forward to putting these practices
I think we're better for being here today, and it's been fun. It's been great. It's good.
My buddy, we have only 2 months since the mango class, is that it?
You guys probably
It's been
know.
like 3.
What was the first, who did the first one already did?
That was the first one.
The spontaneous.
That
It
was
feels like it's been a
spontaneous.
long
We
time
pulled
ago.
that together.
But it was, that was a great class, and look forward to this class. So
Look forward to the next one.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I think for me it was that it's okay that I don't deep throat. That there's a lot that I can do for him that he likes, that I like, and even if I never deep throat, that's okay. Okay.
I won't cry.
But
Great atmosphere. The people were all great and made it even better. You know, that could be a very stressful or high anxiety class. You know, or uneasy. So it made it fun, and then just thanks for helping our marriage get better. Because the more we can open up, the better we can be. 20 years so far, so a lot more to go.
Well, I like it because we're some of the older. And just to let y'all know, you still do things like this when you get this age. A lot of people figure, oh, God, they're 60, oh, hell, there's no way, you know, so.
Be 80.
Yeah, there's still things. In fact, I told Addison one time, my parents, I called when I was about her age, and I said, what are you doing? And she goes, oh, shit, your dad's chasing me around the house nude. I go, mother, please don't. She started laughing. She goes, don't worry, when they retire, oh my God, just give it up, it's horrible. You'll learn. It's horrible. Slow it down, you know, but that's, but it doesn't just stop, you know.
Just process everything.
I don't know that I have anything that's left to share. I know my husband would probably find a joke. He's a lot more lively and full of laughter. So I was actually nervous about coming in, not because nervous to be with him, but nervous that sometimes classes, like you were saying, can be so uptight. And I didn't, I felt really comfortable. So I feel like you guys presented it in a very nice, calming way.
Complete? Do you have anything more?
Class.
Thank you, Laura.
Energy is good. Y'all are great. Y'all are great.
Thank you, Laura.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you everybody. That is why I really feel very complete. I am just in gratitude for each and every one of you. And hope to see many of you at future classes. So, every month, we do have stuff going on. So, and if for some reason we don't have something that you guys are looking for, we have online courses going as well. But if there's a class that you're like, hey, I want to know more details on this, could you? Because how the Cunnilingus class came about was we had a good group. We both had clients coming to us saying, "Well, you taught that blowjob class last year. Where's the Cunnilingus class version?" So we had enough people showing interest that we went, "All right, we got to do something about that." So if you don't vocalize it, then you're not going to get it. And if you vocalize it, then
You still might not get it,
you
but
might not get it. So, but the odds go up because all of a sudden, if we get enough people that are showing interest, then we're going to try to meet the demand.